before starting, I do want to mention saying like, the past few days I have not been streaming. It's because, one, I had to work on my Twitch Teams' speedrun marathon as tech person, and I went out yesterday just to have some belated birthday dinner with a friend of mine, so that's why I haven't been streaming for the past 2 days, even though the past 2 days is supposed to be my break days. But, you know, I really wanted to stream a lot more games, because, you know, I want to try to finish as many games as possible. We're already on the 8th game anyways, because, you know, whatever game took quite long. I think Dead Island and, no, Dead Island actually took quite long, yeah. Not good enough? What do you mean not good enough? Also, today I'm gonna be streaming for less than 6 hours, because, there's gonna be a fucking internet outage at 1 AM in the morning, so I'm like, okay, if I can finish this game in less than 6 hours, sure. If not, then I will continue tomorrow, and then we'll see on what the other game, like, we'll see if I have energy to actually play another game tomorrow, but for now, I'm probably gonna be streaming for, like 5 hours, and that's about it. Normal. So yeah, this was picked on the Discord server. And everyone wanted me to play American Nightmare. So, yeah. Well, not everyone. Some people wanted me to play American Nightmare, and this one was like Wheeler. Isn't Wheeler from the first game? He is from the first game. Can you speak in an American accent? Are you kidding me? Night Springs, the Twilight Zone. Hello, Alan Wake.
The man before you is a champion of light. He is part of a conflict between darkness and light that is both ancient.
Is that an actual live Alan Wake? That's an actual live Alan Wake. Wait, is he?
A dangerous quarry.
He just looks like an actual live Alan Wake.
His evil doppelganger, known only as Mr. Scratch.
Ooh.
I'll catch you eventually!
Maybe. But what are you gonna do then? By then, I'll have had my hands on everything you love.
Wow. Yeah, is this like a live action Alan Wake kind of shit? Very interesting. But yeah, today's stream is gonna be quite short because I'm gonna be streaming for like 5 hours and that's about it. Or about 5 or 6 hours.
Spat out from the darkness that surrounds the shores of our reality. He has come to fight a decisive battle in Night Springs.
In Night Springs, okay. Wow. Why is it on the left side? Can it be on the right side instead? The fuck? Okay, whatever. Pick up flashlight. Sure. Okay, so it has like the past kind of format with the last game that I actually played, which was Alan Wake. I don't know anything about the remaster. I just played Alan Wake and that's about it. I don't know anything about this game in particular. But I can totally tell that the graphics of the game is actually better than it is. Yeah, the graphics of the game is like kind of better. While like Alan sleep, yeah, totally. Alan fucking sleep, dude. What the flying fuck? Are you kidding me? Oh god, hello. Is that a guy? That's a miner. Fuck you, miner. Can I reload the gun? Thank you. Leave the cannon. Dude, what is with him just doing this? Like, look. The fuck?
He still practices that art, forging weapons of war out of ideas. but the violent currents that brought him here have scattered the pages he has written.
Manuscripts provide story in the game. Okay, F5.
My name is Alan Wake, and I'm a writer. I didn't become one overnight. Like most writers, I struggled with it. A short story here, an article there. Then I got lucky and spent a year as a staff writer on the Night Springs TV show.
Wow.
It wasn't the great American novel of my fantasies, but it taught me discipline and craft, and the difference between wanting to be a writer and actually writing.
Wow. Okay. Thank you, Alan Wake. I feel like they brought back the original voice actor for this Alan Wake. Seems like he's the same voice actor as I played him. I played the game like a while back. It's cool, I guess. Alan's sleep.
The lights of the motel promise safety.
But this
man
is the game that
senses
Tali
that the
wanted me to
solution his
play.
predicament begins there.
I think last game was the one that who wanted me to play. The last game was the last few games actually was what Amai wanted me to play.
Somewhere within the
This
earth,
one is what
space
Tali wanted me to
itself has
play,
been
and I
pierced,
still have a lot
and from
more.
the dark depths runs a steady flow
God.
of monsters. The man recognizes the hand of his evil.
I still have a lot more
face.
games to actually play.
He knows
Yeah.
he must put an end to this madness.
Hey, Protector. Been watching your Ellen. Oh, fuck! Wait, hold on. Thank you for the compliment. Much appreciated. Hold on. Hold on. Sometimes running is the best option. Okay. Run! Get out! Yeah, right. That's right, bitches. Am I 30 now? I'm 24. I just turned 24 in 2 days ago. But yeah, thank you for the compliment, Protector. Protector. How are you doing? Hope you're doing well. Also, I'm gonna fucking fuck. There we go. If you need any kind of information about anything Alyssa like, just tell me. Oh, 3 manuscripts page? Are you kidding me? Okay. Sure.
Hello.
Yo, hot lady? Hot lady? Booba?
Hey, it's you. There. You remember me, right? Emma? Emma Sloan?
I think you might have something that belongs to me.
Really?
Wait,
Typewritten
really?
page?
Oh, yeah, that's weird. I did find a page like that. I don't even know where it came from. It was all this weird stuff about the oil derrick and a satellite.
Yes, that's what I'm looking for.
Oh, well, I don't know how you knew I
Oh,
had it,
nice,
but
nice,
I
Booba.
guess it's yours. Listen, what's this all about?
But yeah, if you
There
need
was
any
really
information
creepy
about
guys
any kind of
hanging around the
Alyssa
oil derricks.
speedrun
There's
like
something really weird
stuff,
about
you
them.
can just ask me.
Dangerous. I'm gonna
I'm
deal with
pretty
it. Try
much
to stay out of their sight, okay?
The Alyssa
Stay in the
runner
light.
already.
They hate the light.
Oh, okay, cool. Got another manuscript.
At the oil derrick, the wheel had been jammed in place and turned until the oil gurgled and flowed thick and flammable. The warning lights were blinking in a fast rhythm.
Yo,
bright
Lunina, so you
and
can
steady,
show off.
powered
Show
by
off the
battery.
bosses. I think the
The
bosses,
Kasabian CD was
they
playing
would
in the
really
boombox, all
like.
distorted
on.
guitars and intense beat. High above, some piece of orbital junk or another collided with the satellite, knocking it radically off course. Trailing debris, it screamed down from the skies at an impossibly steep angle. All that high-tech engineering reduced to nothing more than a bullet that would destroy whatever it hit.
Interesting. Okay, cool. Usually you should show off the bosses. I think the bosses are actually pretty much of a really cool thing to actually show off in Alyssa, like as
Just to be clear,
Like in the
you should
speedrun
know
and
that
stuff.
we haven't actually met before.
Sure we have, Mr.
Nail
Wake.
gun.
Remember you stayed at the motel here.
No, the guy you're talking about just looks like me, even if he uses my name. He's behind all this trouble.
Oh, I thought, now that you mention it, I guess your aura looks a lot nicer than his, actually. I'm very sensitive to things like that.
Are you sensitive to that thing at the bottom? Are you sensitive to that thing at the bottom right there, woman?
There's a bunch of stuff I need to find.
The things
To
mentioned
cock,
on that
probably.
page? Well, there's a lot of old crap lying around this place.
Great, thanks.
How you doing, Erna? Hope you're
I
doing
think
well.
you should be able to find everything, except the satellite, obviously. Are you gonna tell me what this is?
I don't think that'd go over too
Cog.
well.
Why don't you let me be the judge of that?
Fine. The page is a formula for rewriting reality. Either I use it to close a strange portal to a place that
Find
isn't
3
our
items to
world,
rewrite
or shadowy
reality.
serial killer
Oh
monster
god,
things keep
okay,
pouring
sure.
out of there.
Yeah, you were right the first time.
Okay. Do I
The
tell her to
champion
be
of light
careful?
recognizes the page he got from the woman. It
Oh,
is a weapon of his own design,
ammo.
custom engineered
I
to
love
destroy
ammo.
the dark portal. If he recreates the conditions of the page, a great power will be unleashed.
Ammo ramp, dude. Ammo ramp is going through a hard time at the moment, dude. We all didn't know that she had a husband, and then the husband's like abusing her, so rip her. The mini map on the top. Okay, blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. So I definitely need to go to like one of the places for manuscripts, I think. God, I hate this left side, no, right side kind of thing. I'd rather have the character on the left, but you know, it is what it is. Can't help it. I think I can run into here. But I don't think any of these doors actually open, so I'm probably gonna talk to her one more time.
You can think what you want.
She has a
about me,
husband?
but
Yeah,
there's
she has a
still bad
husband.
guys around. Be careful.
Which kind of sucks,
well,
though.
You might be nuts, but I've seen the way they move.
I'm
the
nuts,
way they
yes, of
look.
course.
I'll buy that.
They're called Taken. They aren't really human. Not anymore.
And they're climbing out of the oil well? What, do they have secret headquarters down there? Or
No, that's just where the point of connection is. It's a
Secret
hole that leads
headquarters.
to- Well, it's a really nasty place. That's why I need to close it.
and the guy who looks like you opened it, because he was hanging around the oil field before.
He gets around, unfortunately.
Thanks for helping me.
Thanks for helping me.
Oh, I wish I thought you were just a nutcase.
Actually, I kind of expected you to.
Me too. But I feel like this is how it's supposed to go. Isn't that weird?
Not really. I get that a lot in my line of work.
What do you do anyway?
I'm a writer.
Obviously.
What? Am I gonna have a conversation
What was that
with
you said
her
about my
like,
aura?
Oh,
this whole
I'm
time?
very
I'm just gonna have a
spiritual now. I
conversation
can
with,
see
like,
auras, but I
her
only use
this
it
whole
for healing
time.
and helping people. I'm like a wise woman, you know? I give people insight and advice.
Look, just because I say crazy things doesn't mean I believe everything.
What?
Don't be like that. Maybe you should take a few crystals with you if you're going out there. It might
Crystals?
be dangerous. They soothe your energies and focus your mind.
Look at how I'm
It's
back.
fantastic.
Like, I'm going
And
backwards
they
from
help me take out
that.
the bad guys?
Look, I'm going
Oh,
backwards from, like,
well,
doing
no,
this.
Not as such.
Look at that.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm.
Or I have some wonderfully potent herbal detox suppositories.
Yeah, I'm good.
Has
I'm
Gwyneth...
good.
What the fuck does that mean? Oh yeah, okay, she's gonna fix the car now. Okay, cool. Moonwalking? Moonwalking, yes. How you doing, E1OX? Hope you are doing well. Okay, that is something. I don't know what that is, but I think that is for more ammo or something? Is this for more ammo?
Oh hell, this isn't gonna be good. Is this on? How can you tell?
What the fuck? What kind of snuff film is
sorry, I'm
this?
not very good with
Getting ready for
guns.
work? Oh man. Shuff. Oh god, is that goop thing? I see. The goop. Goop.
That's more like it.
What the fuck, bro? Snuff film.
I'll be right with you.
Snuff
Just gotta do
film.
this one thing.
Is he gonna touch his
Make it
dick?
quiet.
Yeah, that's right.
I bet you're wondering why this is happening. Why am I doing all this? Why am I so hell-bent on ruining your life? You're cramping my style. You've got money, fame, everything you could want. But you don't know what to do with it.
I
I
don't.
do. I'm getting all the things you never.
I don't even know what the fuck is happening.
Having more fun too.
Yeah, I legitimately do not know what's happening.
Do you know the real difference between us? I'm not afraid to be the center of attention. This poor slob's just collateral damage, really. I mean, beat some information out of him earlier. But this part? This is just for kicks.
Whoa! Damn! Snuff film. Actual snuff film. Did you choke him to death?
So quiet.
Okay. Guy choked him to death. Nice. Cool. Choke kink, I swear. Smile. Okay. So I guess that's a collectible, I guess. I don't know whether or not it's a collectible, but it's a collectible.
Wait.
Oh my god. Okay. Are you kidding me? I have 10 batteries. I just realized that. A valve.
That's one thing down.
Okay, so I get a valve. So I do need to go all the way that side then. Yeah, I had to go all the way that side then. Unless there's another note right here. Yeah, there is another note. Okay, cool. So I can probably... Okay, sure. Or manuscript, I guess. Devil
To
is in the
change reality, you
details.
nudge it into the right direction. Your version of it is there, waiting. It wants to come true. All you need to do is help it achieve its potential. The devil is in the details. You change the details of the scene to match those on the page. If you get the details right, if you achieve that critical mass, the shift will come, and the rest of your new reality overrides the existing paradigm. The lie, no matter how outrageous, is now the truth.
Okay. Thank you, Alan Wake. Okay, so I probably want to go all the way back to that side first. So if I were to go back that side... Ooh, that's more ammo though. Flare gun. Okay. I can't carry any more ammo. It's such a shame. This game is alright so far. Wait, no. Give me the pistol. I don't want to use the flare gun just yet. I want to unlock this thing right here. There you go. I get a submachine gun. Ooh. I guess not yet. I don't want to get a submachine gun just yet. Maybe if I'm out of ammo, then probably. But also at the same time, you can actually get a shotgun in here as well, so... We'll see. There's like a nail gun and a shotgun and whatever thing it is. Anyways. Cool. So what am I taking? A battery. There we go.
Two. Just one more to go.
One more to go. Hey, Ravinsky. I heard of Alan Wake, but don't know about it that much. Alan Wake is a game where like you're playing as a writer, and then someone's narrating your whole story, and then you have to defeat monsters by like lighting fucking places up, because you know it is what it is. I played the first game. The first game was alright. Not really my favorite game, or not really one of those games that I would really want to play again, but like it's one of those games that like I'm just alright with it. This one is the sequel to the first Alan Wake, which is American Nightmare. And holy shit, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? You alright, man?
It tears itself in two to avoid the hated light. It becomes weaker, but more numerous.
But yeah, it talks about a writer who, fucking,
That was
you know...
just messed up.
It talks about a writer who... Kinda, like... It has, like, someone narrating his whole story as well.
Something tells me I'm really gonna need the extra firemen. That's everything.
CD's
The man
nuts!
has found the battery,
Goddamn CD's
but it
nuts!
is empty. It will need to be recharged.
Final... Okay, Go back to Emma. So I don't know about whether or not is there gonna be other notes in this game. I mean, I can't go this way. Maybe that was the other note that I actually take. Evil Within? No, this is not Evil Within. This is Alan wake me up inside. Cause this is literally just wake me up inside. You're doing light. But you are doing well. It's one of those games where I would say that it doesn't really get a lot of people just wanting to know what this game is all about, but it is definitely one of those horror games that it's out there. Fox on the right? The right? Like me, right? Or what? Ravinsky with the prime sub. Much appreciated. Enjoy those emotes and welcome to the stable club. My camera? Wait, is that my camera? What? What? What do you mean, what's on my right? Give me those horse emotes. Nice. Wait, what do you mean by what's there on my right? I don't know what's there on my right. Unless you mean the game. If you mean the game, then yeah. Usually the character is supposed to be on the left. Yeah, okay. I really do not understand why is this on the left, like on the right side. I have no idea if I could actually like move my character to the left. This is some weird thing. I don't know if it happened on the first game, but I think on the first game it was on the right as well. And I had to like fucking deal with it as well. Let me see the key binding real quick. Toggle camera side. Okay, okay, what if I do this? There you go. Okay, cool. So it was kind of weird for me to actually see this thing on the right side for a while, and then I was like kind of thinking about, wait, is there a way for me to switch that over? And that thing happened.
Well, here you are, about to enjoy another cool Arizona night with me, Eddie Rodman, the host with the boast. Hey, any of you guys remember Old Gods of Asgard? Man, I actually saw them twice.
So there's a lot of narrating in this game from what I've remembered. So a lot of story, a lot of lore, a lot of like telling the person what they're experiencing, because this game is more of the it's more of the horror game that I'm thinking of. The fuck is that? It feels old, feels odd to me. Looking over the right, pointing a flash on the left. Yeah, true.
Nice to have you guys here.
Oh, hey, great to be here, Eddie.
Yeah, I got auto modded. I don't know if there's a mod in here, but there's no mods here, so whatever.
All right. Spring chickens, you ain't. I mean, you guys, you make the Stones look young.
You're only as old as you feel.
Who you calling old?
Oh shit.
Now, your last album was 1978, In the Valley of My Shadow. And then you stopped playing altogether after that. Why? And what made you do a comeback after all this time?
Well,
Friday the 13th gay ass gameplay. I mean, technically it could be. But yeah, how you doing, sis? Hope you're doing well. Honestly,
Bob had leukemia, poor bastard.
Yeah, after that.
a lot of narrating. I don't remember if the last game had a lot of
I ran
narrating.
into these guys up in Washington, and it was obvious to me that they still got it. So I figured, hey, let's make some music, right? And they went for it.
Now, Barry, you were a literary agent before this, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and you were very successful. You represented Alan Wake, I believe, who disappeared under mysterious...
Yeah, that's... Hey, I just want to talk about Old Gods tonight. Is that cool? Can we do that?
Oh, yeah, sure. Listen, why don't we take a little break, and then later on in the program, we'll hear the
Wonder if this still works. What do you mean this still works?
Well, at least Barry landed on his feet.
Oh shit. Yeah, it does still work. Yeah. They would follow. It still works, duh. Cause I didn't even turn it off.
Charged.
No problem.
I'm too lazy to turn it off.
Here you go.
Anyways, give me the keys, or is it? Wait, what did I get? What the fuck did I get? Huh? Rewrite reality. Are those like in exchange for something? Restock your ammo. Restock at the ammo box. There we go. Restocked. Can't wait to spam. No, don't spam. Honestly, I don't know. I probably have to ask someone to I think I probably have to ask Yorkie to help me disable that, because I don't know how to disable that anyways. But yeah, don't spam it. But yeah, Alan Wake is like one of those games where it's like not really that appealing to a lot of people actually, because you know, people are not really into Alan Wake. Carbine over pump shotgun. Huh. Okay, hold on. So I'm just gonna go that way. Shotgun is fun, but you have the carbine right here. Okay. Carbines for gays. Wait, isn't carbine better? Give me a sec. I like how this guy's just like running like gayishly, if that's even a word, gayishly. There we go. My logic sense is shotgun is strong. I mean, it's strong in some way, but for my take is that I don't want to waste fucking ammo, or I don't want to use. Okay. Oh god. Wait. Hold on. Maybe I should actually take this instead. Wait. Does it also?
Can't
Oh,
go
okay,
wrong
cool.
with the classic.
I was about to say probably. If it takes 9mm bullets, then I'll be alright. Carbine ammo. Okay. So I still have to go up there. Because I have to. Like this way. I really have to go up there? I have to. Okay. I heard that this game is like repeating itself again and again and again. That's why. I'm not too sure if it's like that, but if it repeats itself again and again, then it kind of sucks if it does. Look at all these people. What the flying fuck? I should have just played this on Nightmare difficulty. But the only reason why I'm playing this game on normal difficulty is because I don't remember what this game is all about, other than like
make some serious changes.
Other than I know that this game is it's like made to talk about the story of a writer who writes his own stories as well, and yeah, it is what it is. As you can tell, look. The wheel was in place, the oil was flowing, battery was attached, the light was blinking. Okay, wheel, battery, CD. Wait, wheel was in place, the oil was flowing. Okay, so the wheel. I need to find where I could put the wheel. The wheel's in place, oil starts flowing. There we go. Battery was attached, the lights were blinking. Battery was attached. The light was blinking. Battery. Is it this one? Sounds like quite a fear. I guess, but I'm not too sure about it. The lights were blinking. The CD was playing in the boombox. Okay. Put the CD inside. CD's nuts. Alright. What? Did it crash my game already? It crashed my game. It crashed my fucking game. What? That's the story. The story of this game is just to crash my fucking game. Nice. Crashed by a radio. I don't even know what happened. I just crashed.
Some serious changes.
Oh my god. I had to do this thing all over again? Really? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna hope that it doesn't crash again. If it does crash again, then I'm not too sure what's gonna happen, honestly. Oh wait, I need to do this again. Thank God it didn't crash again. What the fuck? That's how it changes the story? It just does that now. A fucking satellite goes into fucking Earth. Or into the fucking oil, whatever it is. The oil tower. Crash because this cutscene's too bad as we see. Look at him run. Is this DMCA? I feel like this game. I feel like this thing is DMCA-able. Yeah, I feel like this thing is like DMCA-able. Tilted Towers crashed. The Tilted Towers really did crash. Probably. I don't know the song, but whatever.
I'm here. Just keep your head down.
Oh God, hello. Alright. Where's my shit?
I think I hear more of them.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
I
hold on.
noticed.
Hey, Will. What? Oh, it went away. Okay, cool.
That's the last of them. We're good.
But I would guess yes. I don't know the song
What
anyways.
the hell was that?
Easy. I got him. You're safe. I need you to tell me what you know about him. The guy who looks like me.
There was a party in one of the rooms. It was pretty wild. I'm not sure which room it was
Pretty
in.
fucking wild, as they said.
No, I wasn't there. But it got way out of hand. Anyway, I heard that he went to the diner and there was a fight there or something. Maybe you could find out more from there. I got some keys that you could maybe use.
You just happen to have the keys, huh? Fine. I'll take a look. Stay here.
Like hell. I'm getting out of here as soon as you leave so I could close up this place and go home.
Emma, you really want to stay here
Spam
with
clicking
the
to
light?
reload
Yeah,
because
thanks
I
for
don't
the
know.
advice, but I'm not sticking around.
I just
go
want to know
already,
when
okay?
can I shoot. Or is it like just reloading? I guess. It's either one of the two. Explore the diner. Are you okay?
Are you okay?
I guess. Thanks for the help. Were those the... what'd you call them? The Taken?
The Taken.
What are they?
Dude,
Complicated.
her nipples are
Short version,
super
the
fucking
darkness can take
pointy.
people
Like,
over.
look.
That's why I had to
How do you have
destroy the
nipples
order.
that fucking
Otherwise, they
pointy?
would've overrun the place.
The fuck is
I
this?
didn't think you'd actually do it. I mean,
Look
I
at
didn't
that.
think it'd work. That's crazy.
Like, pointy nipples.
Let me just try one more time at the risk of sounding like a broken record. It's bad out there. I don't want you hurt. You should stay put.
Maybe
while
it's
you turn this
cold.
place into an inferno, run around.
Have you ever seen
shooting
this
up
show
the place and
Friends?
trying to
Thanks,
play
Jennifer
your games with your
Aniston.
Psycho evil twin. Don't get me wrong.
I have
you're
heard about
nice for a
the
while. I'm impressed as
I've
hell
heard
by all
about
of this, but enough
Friends,
is
but
enough.
I've
I
never,
seriously just
you
wanna
know,
get out
I've
of
never
here,
watched them.
Okay?
Got turned on by your shooting skills. You're shooting, yes. Some nipples can cut diamonds. Oh yeah, of course. And you're jerking, yes. Okay, let's go to the diner now. I do have to look around in this fucking deserted area. Desert area. How's the beef wagyu? Oh shit, the beef
poltergeist.
wagyu is so good.
Its existence is one of rage and hostility, and its very presence turns ordinary objects.
I had like
into
belated
deadly
birthday dinner. I was like,
projectiles.
oh hell yeah, bro. You can toss handheld. Oh shit, bro. Oh shit. Wait, hold on. Can you do that real quick? Oh wow, holy shit. Did it not do anything? Okay, whatever. What's the health station in this place again? Here. Okay. Alright, there we go. Hey Benji, do you meet the girl wanting to roleplay? What? Wait, who? Signs about kick my ass. Signs about to not kick my ass, I guess. I didn't even know what the fuck is happening until like I saw that shit coming towards me. I was like, wait a minute. Wait a fucking minute. Why is it always changing to my other side? That's a weird thing. But that's a weird thing in this game. Why is it always changing like the perspective of my character from like the left to the right side for some reason? Or did I actually do it by myself? I don't know. I don't even know if I actually did it by myself. Anyways, yeah, the Wagyu was super good. Costed quite a lot actually. Costed like my whole salary. Haha, copium. Creating this game is left-handed. I guess? I don't know.
The scene. Traces of violence. A callous midnight snack.
Ooh, Ravenheart, thank you for the raid, much appreciated.
The enemy's
Raven raid.
work.
Thank you so much for the raid, much appreciated. Hello guys, my name is Juhors. I am a speedrunner, but I'm not speedrunning. I'm playing a lot of horror games for the month of October. This is my 8th horror game, I guess. For now. How's Alien Isolation? Hope Alien Isolation went well. Oh, Alien Isolation is a super long game. I don't know how long Alien Isolation is right now. It was fun. Where are you in the game at the moment? Also,
was a believer in a great many things, most of which
Gayor's fantasy
were
stream.
entirely
Yes.
fallacious.
Is she having sex? Oh, sorry.
Emma Sloan, an innocent
Ravenheart
victim
with
of his
the
dark path,
2-month resub, much
more
appreciated.
collateral
Hope you are doing
damage
well.
in the ongoing war.
Thank you for the resub.
Damned by
She's having sex with the dark light now. No.
as by her
No, dude,
own
she's having sex with the dark light. The Taken, dude. Oh shit! I didn't see that guy. Where did he even come from? Hold on. Oh fuck! Haha! Hey, Shy. Okay, hold on. What? Shoot. Okay, there we go. About the jettison, the first Xeno. Oh, that one. Dude, Alien Isolation is one of my favorite horror games. I really do want to speedrun it, but like it's so fucking long. It's like 3 hours long. They're called the Taken. Like the Dark Light is just called the Taken. And like they're just taken. Easily top 20-15 horror games ever. Yeah, it's really good. It's one of those like long horror games that oh shit, hello. It's one of those long horror games that
dead, tortured,
that really
dressed in clothes
puts
that bore the name of
like
a local observatory.
a really good
Slimly,
gameplay, really good
but
plot.
solid enough. It
Really good
stirs
atmosphere
something
as well.
in
Like
mind.
I can't believe that game came out in
Knows where to go
2013
now.
and it was like one of those games that is still super fucking good to this day. Like the graphics of the game
The
it's like
observatory.
it's
Hot on the
probably
heels of the
released like
herald
this
of
year
darkness,
even, you know.
The champion of light forges on to see the stars.
What? I've already gotten a key, and then that's about it. Scorn shit. Full stop. Alright, full stop. Scorn shit. Graphics wise, good.
An observatory. A place for a man to witness the
MO.
magnificence
Yeah,
of
hey
the
Dublin puppy.
universe. But such
How's the
insights
meat?
are
Dude,
not what the champion
Wagyu
of
so
light is
good. I
looking
love
for.
Wagyu.
He has come.
But the Wagyu that I
find
ate is
right.
not like A5 Wagyu or A4 Wagyu. No. Alien Isolation actually came out in 2013. I don't think this game came out in 2013. Like, Alien Isolation came out in 2013, right? Let me check again. Alien Isolation. It came out in... I played this last year as well. Yeah, I played this last year. 2014, actually. Yeah, 2014. I played it on the, wait, hold on. I played it on the 7th year anniversary of the, of the release of that game. It's really good. I highly recommend people playing, Alien Isolation. It's really good. No, it's not body horror. I love the graphics. I love H.R. Geiger-like graphics. The problem is that, like, it's too slow. It's too slow, and the gameplay is, like, super fucking shit. Like, if you were to play... What are you doing? What is this door doing? Hello? If you were to play the game, right... let me actually look at these stuff for a sec. If you were to play the game... and go around places... and then think to yourself, what the fuck am I doing in the game? You're not the only one. There's no story. There's no lore. There's nothing in that game. There's nothing. The lore of the game is just you get your dick sucked and then become a tree. That's what it is. Like, Scorn is just you get your dick sucked, be a tree. That's it. And then what else? There's nothing. Hey, JA Games. There's like nothing in the game other than you just going around doing puzzles, and then that's about it. That's literally what Scorn was. You go around, do puzzles, that's it. You have a problem with that? Well, I had a problem with the game because what the fuck the game what the fuck was the game talking about, or what the fuck was the game doing? It's just boring.
Welcome back, listeners. As you know, I'm Eddie Rodman.
I don't even know if I want to listen to this fucking radio.
Asgard, who are doing their big comeback tour. How's that been going for you? Odin?
Splendid! I'm having the time of my life.
Time of my life.
Realize how much I've missed that.
And what about you, Tor?
It's okay, you know.
Well, this must bring back a lot of memories.
Oh, yeah. It's wonderful to be back on stage. If it wasn't for my knee, I'd feel like a young man again.
Well, speaking of that, I hate to keep harping on this age, but I gotta tell you, I've heard your new songs, guys, and you sound really good.
Thank you.
And this may be a touchy subject, but to be blunt, you really don't sound...
I really don't care. Sorry. I really just don't care. Maybe that's that, but like, I honestly think that is such a boring game that, like, you don't really do anything at all other than just solve puzzles, and that's about it. Like, it's just legit. It was legitimately the most boring fucking shit I've ever played in a horror game, that I legitimately thought it was good, but, you know, like, the graphics wise, it was good in the beginning of the game, and then afterwards they just give you, like, a fucking thing, and then what are you gonna do in the game? That's it. Like, if you actually know how to, like, play puzzle games, then yeah, I think that game is for you. But if you were to like play the game and like think to yourself, hey, what am I supposed to do in this game for like 2 hours? I don't think that game is for you. Like, legitimately, I feel like someone's gonna be spending like 2 hours playing the game, and then afterwards, like, they just don't know what to do. But also at the same time, here's the thing as well. The game is short. The game is short for a fucking $35 game. If you're willing to spend $35 just for graphics and less of the gameplay, then yeah, sure. Like, the gameplay is like 5 hours. IGN said it was 6 to 8 hours. For a $30 game to be that, like, short, I don't think it's worth my money. I can't even refund it, you know? Well, yeah, but I still fucking hated it. It's so boring. It's so fucking boring.
As a storyteller, my first real love
I
was
think the game is just so
and it
fucking
was in that
boring.
genre that
There's
I
nothing
finished
in
my
the
first
game
novel, starring the perpetually miserable Alex
resonate with
Casey,
me other than like the
whose entire
graphics of
life
the
was a
game. The
wound
graphics of the
that
game
never
is
healed.
still good.
The books sold as fast as they
Just
hit the
didn't like
shelves.
it.
I wrote 5 more Alex Casey books, and they all were bestsellers. I became rich. I became famous.
Rich,
Success brought
famous.
pressure, and I didn't handle it very well.
Okay, interesting. Fire truck. We still have this thing right here. I don't even know what this thing is. I honestly do not know what this thing is. Let me see what this thing is. But yeah, I really just don't like the game. If you want me to walk around, sure. I would rather walk around in the game not knowing what to do, and then that's it. Like the puzzling in that game is just fucking bullshit. Like I honestly would say it's fucking bullshit. Afraid of monsters? Sounds very familiar to me. I don't know why. Enter the main observatory. God damn it. It's coming out of the fucking whatever it is. The whole... Is there anything else? Nothing. Okay, cool. Genesis of
I've
Mr.
seen
Scratch.
the enemy, and it's me. I faced dark horrors before, things that live in the unimaginable pressures of the world beyond our own. Sometimes they masquerade as humans. That's what ultimately lurks inside Mr. Scratch.
There's the
He's
what?
every mean-spirited tabloid story about me. An evil creature.
All of a sudden, it's like
creature
Mr.
formed in the big territory of misconceptions, half-truths, and the dark imagination of people who heard a story about me. An urban legend made flesh. A serial killer. My dark half. Brought to life by the power of Cauldron Lake.
Cauldron Lake, I guess. PewDiePie played it. Wait, hold on. Afraid of monsters. I need to actually look that up. Afraid of monsters. Oh, it's those kind of games. Hold on. Afraid. It's a video game. Oh, wow. Oh. Oh, it's a Half-Life mod. Oh. Interesting. Was this their first game or was this their second game? I feel like this game is like a second game for some reason. I was the one playing the game, didn't realize it was all wieners and buttholes everywhere. It was all wieners and buttholes? Ugh. Yeah, first game. I see. Maybe I'm more interested in like the second game anyways, because Cryophy is like a really good game. More like 15 manuscripts. Are you kidding me? 15? What does this game want me to do? Fucking find all the manuscripts for fucking shit stuff? I guess so, but at the same time I don't know. I really do like the second game, and I'm looking at the game as like maybe it's the first game that yeah, 15 manuscripts to open up a fucking case, of course. Anyone behind me? Nope. Okay, cool. It is what it is. I mean, there's a bunch of fucking manuscripts in this fucking game like that. See?
The pressure of success got to me. My wife Alice was the sole thing in my life
Alice?
that anchored me. Suddenly it wasn't enough. I couldn't write anymore. I distracted myself with wild parties and whatever trouble I could scare up. I wallowed in the drama of my life, sure that Alice would stick with me even though she didn't sign up to be the lifeline of a tortured artist. It was my dumb luck she's not the type to give up.
Interesting. Enter the main observatory. I return with veggie burger? Veggie burger? I like veggie burger. Copium manuscript. Yeah, copium manuscript indeed. 40? Bro! 40 for a combat shot? What the fuck does that mean? Bro. That's a lot. There's a carbine. Wait, is that carbine? Yeah, there's a carbine again. What the flying fuck? So I have another carbine. Ball sack. It looks like a ball sack already. 1 ball sack, 2 ball sacks.
Hello? I'm Dr. Rachel Meadows, and... Wait a moment, it's you! I can't believe you dare show your face around here again.
It's you! I can't believe you put your face around here again. Sure. Oh shit, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Hold on. Vegan burger, just veggie. Oh, is it one of those like impossible burgers? Is that it?
Away.
It wasn't me. I just look like him.
Those impossible burgers, kind of not really. It's Boca.
Please.
Boca these nuts.
You saw those shadow things trying to kill me,
Interesting,
right?
interesting.
I bet he got along with them just fine.
Yes. Yes, he did. All right. Come on in.
It's like, oh yeah, you're different, sure. What the flying fuck? Okay. Talk to Dr. Meadows. Are we actually trying to rewrite her story because she died and then we had to revive her again?
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's up?
There's a party next door. I'm feeling pretty good right now. A little beer.
Get the salmon burger. Salmon burger is great.
It's nice.
Actually, yeah, the salmon burger from McDonald's is actually good. It's just, you know, isn't it like discontinued or something like that?
Listen.
Until like
This whole
another
thing
time.
between us. It's a little weird for me too, you know? I mean, we don't just look the same. There's a lot we share. I mean, up here. I know you, right? So I was thinking maybe we could...
Samurai Ninja Burger? I guess so. I made this myself. Hell yeah. What are you doing? What the fuck? Definitely better than McDonald's. McDonald's?
Look,
At least it's kind of
I
better.
feel like we're both victims of circumstance here. And maybe we could make some kind of effort to...
My god, what? Fuck, McD's nuts, McDonald's nuts. McDonald's just have like some burgers that I actually like. They have the Angus BLT burger. I was like, I like that shit.
Anyone here tonight, but I'm relieved to see an actual person. That's assuming this isn't some kind of cruel trick on your part, of course.
I am an actual person. Is that a telescope? That's a big ass telescope. I still eat meat. The anus burger. The Angus anus burger. What the fuck? Dublin, thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. What the fuck?
Doctor.
The events
you
indeed.
look like me.
The fuck? Oh, dude, hot lady. Dude, she's hot.
Right now. Something I can't begin to classify.
Dude, where's Erna? Booba.
There's a very peculiar
Erna, there's Booba in here. What the fuck?
That's what I'm here for.
You're missing out
So was
Booba.
he. But he didn't seem to understand it at all. He got very angry, sabotaged our imaging array, and now we're blind. I believe the event is still going on, but we can't pick it up.
Is there something we can do?
What he broke is essentially just a special
Hey, Neech.
camera, but we can't use the
Yeah, I saw
telescope.
you run. I saw you play Saw the other day. I was like, yo, you actually play Saw because I was like looking at the Saw page. I was
Consider
like,
it done.
oh wait, you're playing Saw. That's Pog. Hope you're doing well, Neech.
Tell me more about the signal.
It's almost as if something's being transmitted to Night Springs.
Look at
It's
her
strangely
tits,
small.
bro.
It's quite elusive, almost as if it
Does she have
wasn't
pointy
there.
fucking nipples
I
as
don't know how
well?
to describe it.
Saw these nuts?
So-
No.
What was the signal like?
I wish I knew. He appeared before I had a good fix on it. He was very
Look at
pleasant when I
that.
was working.
Look at
When
that,
I
bossum.
isolated the signal, he suddenly forced me out of the control booth. He said it was none of my business. He seemed to change. Somehow he was very smooth and charming before that. But suddenly he became, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I want to talk about it.
He fucked you,
I
that's
have to
why.
ask.
Copium.
Do you always wear that to work?
I was at a party for a local art exhibition. Fascinating works. When I was called away by my assistant.
Hey, Zudi.
Michael was the first to spot this event.
Good to see you before bed.
where he
That's
is
good.
so much.
I always stream
You're
before.
supposed to bring
I
something.
always
You
stream
never showed
like around this
Tell
time
me about
anyway.
the
So
event.
yeah.
it's quite
Maybe you should do
fascinating.
boob tier
It looks as
list.
if stars
See,
were
you're
changing
marrying the
somehow.
booby
Or
boob
shifting
tier.
positions.
Of boobs.
It isn't really happening.
How you doing,
of
Zudi? Hope
course.
you're doing well.
Most likely it's caused by some kind of atmospheric refraction phenomenon, but I've never seen anything like it.
Did he hurt you?
No, he didn't quite threaten me.
Oh, is Mr. Scratch the doppelganger guy?
Started to crawl into view.
I
and whatever the
see.
signal
I
was,
see
he
now.
seemed to be extremely frustrated by it.
Yeah, I
Just
think
started
Mr. Scratch is the
breaking things and
doppelganger
left.
guy.
I thought it best not to interfere.
You were lucky. He's done much worse.
Yes. He showed me a knife, and he kept talking. He enjoyed the sound of his own voice. A proper maniac. You really aren't anything like him, are you?
Believe me, I try very hard not to be.
I like her dress. I just like her dress. Sounds like a Redditor than a psycho. Mr. Scratch, a Redditor. Are you a Reddit mod and a Discord admin?
And try to be careful. It's a very expensive part. We don't have a replacement.
Wait. Oh, I'm supposed to get the
Dear,
imaging
that sounded more callous than I
array.
intended. Be safe.
Be safe. Alright, Smile. I'll be safe. Is that health here? What's this health? Oh, it's the light. Oops. Forgot about lights. That means I have to go this way then. Is it this way? What is here? Guess it's on the way behind. Yeah, I'm just gonna go behind then. Hello? Why is it all covered in cobwebs? How? Okay, weird question. Can outside places be covered with cobwebs? I don't think so. Yeah, it looks silly in a way. Yes? The fuck?
This must be her car.
Her car? This one? Her car? All covered in cobwebs? Her car? It's come. Oh shit, a spider! No wonder. Okay, never mind. Maybe the ones in Australia, then probably. That's right. Get away, you spider. Yeah, that's right. Get away, you spider. Omega lol. Ah! Ah! I didn't realize there was one in front of me. I live there, cries. Oh no. Wait, did I dodge that? I dodged that. What the flying fuck? Hey yo. Spider literally sucks. Rip. I know. Oh god, I was about to say I know a bunch of like Australian friends who actually live there. In fact, I actually went to Australia like a few months ago to actually do a fucking speedrun marathon there as well. So there's that. Kill spider with a flashlight. Oh my god, that thing almost hit me. What a dodge. What a dodge. Yeah. It's pretty cool to actually go to Australia. And Adelaide. Let me in. Thank you. I hope there's no spiders here. Look at him running. What the flying fuck? Oh shit.
I found it!
Excellent. I'll operate the platform directly below the telescope so you can install the array. Don't worry, it's very easy.
Wait, what? Oh. Oh. She's lowering it down for me. Oops. Oops. There we go. Dude really ran like he was about to shit himself. Yep. Like, I think a lot of characters literally want to shit themselves anyways.
Brilliant, you got it. I'll just run a quick diagnostic on it.
He literally just shoved it in there. I have not played it. I heard it's on PC, but I don't know where to get it on PC actually. Look at the skies. Wait. What? I really have to go out again and look at the sky? Probably. Yeah, I do have to do that. God damn it. God damn it. God damn it. Wow. Beautiful. Overheating?
We have to shut this down.
Got it on GDOA and Steam version.
Interrupted the flow.
So now
Yeah,
Well,
it's not
you
available
can go
anymore, I
and
think.
open the secondary coolant flow valves manually. I know it's dangerous there, but, well,
I got it.
please come talk to me if you have questions.
Oh my god! Now I have to go out there. Pray to release the reverse prop hunt. I see.
Just remember, you need to release.
Yeah,
all
Saw isn't on
valves.
Steam because they
It
actually
doesn't matter what
lost the
order you do it.
license. Konami lost the license to actually have Saw, so they kind of took Saw away. Because it was released by Konami anyways. The only good thing about having Saw is that you just get it out of like other sites, and yeah, I don't really talk about that shit, but you know, it is what it is as well. Okay. What is this? What is this question mark right here? What is this question mark right here? Oh, it's a note or manuscript. Another manuscript.
The spiders aren't really the work of the enemy.
New Prey
They're a
DLC.
side
Queen
effect.
Prey.
A part
I
of the
wanna
dark
know
place
how
is less
Prey is
significant
like
fauna that has
the old
managed to
Prey.
slip through the
I don't know
opening
about
I
the
made when I arrived.
the
Less an animal than an idea.
yeah. I don't know
that
about the
has
old
assumed
one. I played the
form of an
new
animal.
one. That's all I could say.
Makes them no less dangerous, but at least they're a little easier to deal with. The darkness doesn't protect them like the Taken, and thus they can be destroyed by either light or bullets right away.
Okay. Interesting. Coolant. Are there gonna be fucking spiders coming out? Bro, that's not spiders. Wait. Oh shit, wow. You're a rammer. How dare you ram me? New speedrun. I saw it's pretty nice. Interesting. Where is the valve? To show the Prey 2006 gameplay, it's like Doom. I remembered how it looks like. It's just like, honestly, I just never played it. I only played the latest one, which was released by Bethesda. Cause it wasn't even, the game wasn't even like released by Bethesda for the past game, right? It was just another company until Bethesda took it, if I'm not mistaken. I don't even know if Bethesda actually took the fucking rights for Prey, but they actually just released Prey or published Prey. So yeah. Maybe I'll just go here. There's a question mark right here. Uh-oh. What the fuck? Hello? Oi, oi! Ow, ow! Whoa, dude! Motherfucker, dude. Oh, shit! There we go, that's right, bitch. Oh my god, dude. That almost... Hard to explain. Have to peek on YouTube if you're interested. Bethesda obviously will make a battle pass cause like my... Damn, copium, man.
I've carried a flashlight and a gun for so long that I feel naked without either.
What?
It's all too often that I need them. The darkness protects the Taken. Shadows crawl over their forms like living things, protecting them from harm. Blows that would injure
Kill
or
by
kill a human
flashbang?
outright
True.
mean nothing to them as long as the
Copium.
darkness persists. But light
Hey,
makes them
Wolfenstein.
vulnerable.
Thank you for the good luck.
Light
Hope
burns
you're
the
doing well.
shadows away. The darkness that drives them is still in them, but now they're vulnerable. Flashlight and gun. Sometimes it feels they're all I have left.
Okay. Hey. Bullets. Need those. Where's the... Okay, see on the other side. I do not need any more carbine ammo. Cool.
Okay, that should do it.
So those are the... Oh god. Whoa! What is that? I just... What? Wait, hold on. What the fuck is that? I'm just gonna run the other way, I guess. No! What the fuck, bro? Is that the darkness? The Taken? Whatever it's called? Taking these nuts. Hold on. Holy shit, he's right there. Yeah, that's right, little bitch. Ammo. Doing okay, I have a sore throat coming on. Hopefully it's not COVID. Take care of yourself, man. Probably more spiders, probably. Oh, that guy is dead. Like immediate. That guy is also dead immediately. What the flying fuck? Hey, Tali. Dude, I'm playing your favorite game. This game has a lot of dialogue. This game has a lot of dialogue that I don't like. What the fuck? I thought the Fortnite tilted tower stud floating and attack you. Probably. How are you liking it so far? A lot of dialogue, that's about it. The action is cool. A lot of dialogue.
Released all the valves, Doctor. Is it working?
Just bear with me a moment.
At least you didn't have to read it. Yeah, I don't have to read it at least.
Working again. Nicely done.
Oh, heck yeah.
That sounds like trouble. I don't think they're happy with our success.
Are you kidding? Wait. Whoa, 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 whoa! This thing's about to explode!
Look out, they found a way in.
Wait, are you serious? Oh, shit! Whoa, that's a big guy right there. Here, take a flashbang. Haha! Oh, shit, hello. Forgot about you. Oh! Oi! 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 Ah! The guy was right behind me. Okay, but hold on. There, you die, you die. There we go. Replacing the dialogue in this way. Stop! 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 Dude! Rawr! XD, you die. Okay, cool. I knew this was gonna happen, Lamau. You can play Fallout 76 and read. No, no Fallout 76. Hey, yo, what up, man? What are you? Okay, you. Wait. Oh! Oh! I'm dodging. I'm dodging. Dodge and weave. Whatever they call it. Shit.
Are you alright?
I did it.
I'm
New
sighted in
Vegas.
now.
I played Fallout. I played Fallout 76 and I fucking like didn't finish that game.
Oh, where are my manners? Please, come on up. I'm sorry, I was distracted.
I played Fallout 76 and never finished the game. I played Fallout 4. I almost finished the game and I never finished it afterwards. I've never played New Vegas at all. But yeah. I didn't travel anywhere. I like 4 a lot more than 76, but like, you know.
Are we receiving the signal now?
Oh yes, it's coming in loud and clear. It's amazing.
Dude, she's
Not sure what
fucking
it is.
hot, not gonna
I don't know
lie,
where it's
dude.
coming from, but it's interacting with our systems.
I'm just gonna say this.
Like it was
Like, she
intended
looks
for us.
fucking
I
hot.
don't understand how that could be.
Maybe that's just how the story goes.
What?
Never mind. Is there a way I can hear it? Or however this is supposed
She'll
to work?
play.
I think the signal.
Maybe
is
because
incomplete
she's
somehow,
British.
But you should
Smile.
be getting a printout of it now.
What do you mean it's incomplete?
Got her like nerd ass pussy, but like, look at her.
The whole thing. This is important.
I'm sure it is, but this is all we're getting.
Did the man who looks like me get the whole thing?
He locked
God
me
on
up,
God,
so I
man.
haven't
God
been
on God,
able
for
to
real,
know.
for real.
I can tell you that you don't seem
Sheesh.
to understand it.
British people are hot.
So,
British people are
What's in the
definitely.
sky?
It
At that
doesn't
level
make
as
any
well.
sense. The stars are just... they're wrong. I thought I'd be able to see something, but it's like I'm looking at a sky that's just... it's not the right sky. But that's impossible.
I consider myself a rational man, Doctor. But this isn't a thing you can measure or explain. I've seen impossible things that have taught me just to roll with some punches. It's either that or go insane.
I find it disturbing
We're all
that you
hot.
sound like you're speaking
We are
from
all
ample
hot.
experience.
Yes. Everyone's all hot. Pick out the signal printout. Okay. Wait, signal printout? That means it's right around here then. Here? Where? Here.
A printout of a signal. It too is a weapon created by the Champion of Light. In its words, stirs a new reality. But it is incomplete, and yet it provides a roadmap for the man to follow. A course that will lead him to a place where he may confront his enemy.
If I fall asleep, sorry. Tired, just hit 11. No, that's cool. I mean, a lick will be alright as well. I don't mind it. Gibberish writing. Excuse me. 12th annual
The drive-in.
Nizva.
Once the site of lurid celluloid fantasies, it's now the site of an art exhibition. And yet, it's the search for closure rather than culture that
Cock
brings the
bless you,
champion of
dang.
light
He
here.
wrote Ham, a documentary. Yeah, Ham. The Mexican handoff. That sounds like someone jerking someone off. Mexicans jerking someone off in the handoff. Oh, you like me handoff, don't you? Ah, yes. Ah, yes, senor. It's not even a standoff, handoff. Oh shit, fuck! Stop making me do this, you little bitch! Sounds like fun, let's go in real and do it. Yes. Yes. You jerk me off, I jerk you off. See who's gonna come first? That's the fucking Mexican handoff.
The drive-in.
The driving. Oh my
Once the
god.
site of lurid celluloid fantasies.
I
it's now
know!
the site of an art exhibition.
I know!
And yet,
Stop!
it's the search for closure rather than culture that brings the champion of light here.
Alright, cool. Alright. Lady, who the fuck are you? Okay, hold on. Is there anything in this car? No. Search for these nuts. I would like to search for these nuts. Any hot lady?
It's you.
Oh no!
That's fantastic.
What the fuck?
Are you okay?
Go away. No, I want you. But
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
I'm angry if you're here, so you gotta go. You know I'll do what you want.
Okay.
I love you so much.
She's a big fan!
Love hurts? Are you gonna hurt me now? 'Cause you should.
Lady, you got darkness on the brain. I think I can help you.
All
if
the
I can
ladies
get your
hot,
hands on it.
probably. We're all
Can't
hot.
turn the power back
you know?
on. It's not allowed. You said.
So, where shouldn't I go so I don't turn the power back on accidentally?
It's the big building on the other side of the drive-in, but it's locked.
Where's the key? Just so that I know to avoid it.
It's on the wall next to the cash register. But you can't. You can't. Don't be bad.
Hey, no problem. I'm just gonna go do some other stuff. Scout's honor.
He's acting like a fucking virgin. He's acting like a fucking virgin. Like, yeah. I don't want anything, but like, I can do whatever you want me to do. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Just try to stay calm. I've seen
Dude,
this kind of thing
holy
before.
fuck.
I think you're gonna be okay.
Honestly, her outfit
Why
looks
not?
so fucking hot. Not
Why
gonna
is
lie.
it so hard to think?
You've been touched by darkness. I'm hoping it's not permanent.
Remember when you were here before and
What?
you kissed me?
What?
And then everything got all dark?
I played the first one. Yeah.
Best.
Listen, this is very important. Where did I go? Can you tell me that?
Baby, you don't need to go anywhere. You're here now. And you're in my head. You should be in me. You should touch me.
It's a 10-foot pole.
Okay. I'll pick the ski up. That's it. All right. Release her demons by just fucking
Hey,
touching her. Sure.
just in case there's a part of you in there that's freaking out right now, it's not your fault. I promise I'll do what I can to help you, okay?
I don't. Please go away.
Huh?
Don't sweat it. I'm just saying that in case
Like
you
all of a
really-
sudden, yeah, just go away. I don't want you to touch me anymore.
I think there are spiders in my eyes.
I think you put them in me.
What the what?
Yeah, I'm just gonna go now.
What? What? Yo, I get spiders in my eyes, man. Yo, what? She's trying to fight the darkness, but she's also horny at the same time. So,
You're on your comeback tour, and you're playing a lot of your classic material.
So,
The man has encountered this before. People whose integrity has been suborned.
That's the
by
darkness?
the
No,
insidious
no, no, that's
touch
her
of the
being horny,
darkness.
Smile.
He's experienced it
she
himself,
wants Alan
but
Wake
merciful
to be
light
inside
burned
her.
away the darkness in his brain.
What the flying fuck? Hello.
Good.
Not saying listen to music. I can't. It's the MCA. What are you talking about? Hi, Jumbo. What are you doing? Dark horny. It's not dark humor. It's dark horny now. Ever heard of coming out of the darkness? I heard about the darkness. I just never heard about coming off the darkness. Sawed off. I don't even know how many fucking manuscripts have I've gotten so far, but I'm just gonna go around places, I guess. Yeah, I'm just gonna go around places. Oh god, a souvenir shop. Kingdom Heart Darkness, interesting. Dude, he's fucking tired now. What the fuck is that? Is that a crossbow? Why is that a crossbow here? Okay. Oof. Can be strong. I don't know if it's strong enough.
Here.
Hey yo! Mr. Scratch! Bro! You fucked the woman that that was right there. Smile. Oh man, they're blocking off the fucking entrance. Is he? Probably is. Mr. Scratch! Hello. You die. Wow, there's some big fucking guys right there. You take a fucking flashbang. Whoa, there's like a lot of them, holy shit. Whoa, 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 whoa. Ew. There we go. But more shitty and gayer. This is G-man. He thinks he's cool, but I don't think so. He's just a fucking pleb, dude. He likes evil. He's an emo kid or emo guy, you know? What the fuck? Fuck that, bro! What the fuck? What the fuck? He has a hen. Oh, it gets the gun. Yo, Mr. Scratch! Guns on the floor, dude! Mr. Scratch! Wait! What are you doing? The gun's on the floor! Does he not know? God, this guy doesn't know that the gun's on the floor now. Bro, he just fucking dragged the gun. Joe's birthday video. Ah, this is my birthday video, my belated birthday video. Krypton.
It's 2/3 RDS per year. Oh Jesus Christ.
Krypton with the 8-month resub. Yeah, it's been 2/3 of a year. What the fuck? You know. Thank you for the resub, the 8-month resub. Much appreciated. Mr. Scratch becomes Saul Goodman. Yeah, Saul Goodman. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Where do I go? I guess I'm gonna go here. Live action scenes are so good. They are good, but like it's just so weird to see them. Like I honestly I'm gonna say it's just weird to see them. I have to go down from here. Oh, I do. Oh, because I'm not supposed to go down from here. Yeah, I hope you're doing well, Krypton. Hope you are doing having a lovely a lovely day. Sorry, lovely gay. Lovely gay on a lovely day. Thank you for the resub again. I'm gonna go here then. Alan is woke. No. He's asleep. Alan's asleep. Am I right? Wake me up. Wake me up inside.
You are gonna shit yourself when you realize what I have done. Shut up!
You fucked the lady, dude. You fucked the lady. I've already seen it. Alan is broken. Save me. Hold my hand and save me from my... Okay. Hello. Cockmaster 69, dude. Hell yeah. Imagine having a name Cockmaster 69. Poggers. What if I go here instead? Oh, hello. Wait, is this the same way? Same way up and down? Yeah, it is the same way up and down. Okay. That's my code name as secret agent in Afghanistan. Yeah, your secret agent name is Cockmaster. God damn it. I like how it's just again. You got automated again. Cool. What the fuck? Ow, Jesus fucking Christ. That's right, you little bitch. Sorry. Anyways. Where can I... Automat for being too gay? Yeah, you can do that, honestly. Just automated for being too gay, that's for sure. Copium. Oh. Hello? There's a bunch of guys here then. There's like a guy in here as well. Transphobic. I like how I never used my fucking battery yet. Because it is what it is. I just don't use my battery yet. What is this thing? Maybe in later combat I'm gonna be using my battery. I'm not too sure. Okay, we're gonna restore the power, I guess. And then we're gonna help the hot babe inside. Am I right?
Okay, I should be able to figure this out.
Huh? Wait, what? Did it light up green? Wait, what? Okay, that has...
Green lights. They have to mean something.
Oh. Uh-oh. Oops. I feel like I did something wrong. Oops. Here, have this. Petition to play the first Sound Hole every day until Sound Hole happens. What? What are you talking about? That's like me speedrunning the fucking game. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, honestly. We'll see. Turn on the lights to the what? Oh, turn on the lights to the. Fuck me. Okay. Are you gonna turn off? Okay, you're gonna turn off. Do it? No. Dude, okay, if by the 19th, right? Or I guess it's gonna be the 20th for me. If Silent Hill gets a new game, like a brand spanking new game, like it's a remake or an actual game, like I'm gonna fucking make an OnlyFans account and I'm gonna post fucking content on it. I swear to God.
Alice, my wife, the best thing that ever happened to me. She smiles in the dark.
I'm gonna fucking open up an OnlyFans account and
her,
actually put content on it. What kind of content? You'll find out what content it is.
She's a photographer, and the world she sees through her lenses is unique and beautiful. She has the vision. She
twist my stems, slap my butt, make me your pumpkin slut, eat my seat. What the fuck? More booba sounds good to me.
She always saw me in the best possible light.
Hey AJ, how much you charging? Free. I'll charge my OnlyFans for free. What are you talking about? God damn. For real, on God, for real. What the flying fuck am I doing? Okay. We'll go here. Wait, no. Am I going the wrong way? Oh. Supposed to be going here then. What? What? Am I going the wrong way? No. Okay. Here. Up here.
You have no idea how badly you're screwed. It's gonna be a blast to watch you find out.
What the flying fuck is that?
Don't want to get hit by those.
Oh, okay. Have fun. Thank you, Arkham. Hope you are doing well. Do this. There we go. I don't remember when was the last time I actually played Alan Wake though. Yeah, Scorn was like pretty fucking shit, like honestly. I didn't really like Scorn. I feel like the gameplay wise is shit. I don't know about the speedrun. I'm gonna hope that if the speedrun ever has some kind of cool little glitch that you can skip like 20 fucking minutes in the game, then yes. I'm pretty much gonna contemplate on speedrunning the game then. If it's gonna be like that, you know. When am I speedrunning this? Dude, when I get my dick sucked, you know? when I get my dick sucked, then I probably would speedrun this game. Yeah. Never. Copium! Dude, what the flying fuck? Oh wait, this is like the first. Isn't this the first fucking TV that I come across? Yeah, it is the first TV that I come across. Oh, I see. Yeah, that. Oh man.
Wait.
Yo, wait. No. Dude, he did it, man. He did it. Wait. No. God, that one sucks ass. Whatever that emote is, that sucks ass. Wait, where's my fucking pistol ammo? Yeah, I dropped them on the floor. Whoops. There we go. Fuck! The fuck do you want, bitch? I'm gonna run away. God! Fuck! Dude, someone's gonna have an epilepsy, man. Dude, someone's... Hello.
So nice in the dark. I can smell you. I can smell you.
Damn, bro. She could smell me. Yo, she smelled me. Like, oh, yeah. I smell. Smell that that nice scent. Okay, wait, hold on. What the...
No, don't. Oh, it's not. It's you.
Hello.
Did you help me?
Looks like you're feeling better now.
Yes, I am. Thank
Yes!
you so much.
No more horny!
What happened? There was this guy.
Before you say anything, I know I look like him, but I'm not.
Don't worry. You just don't feel anything like he does. It was in my head.
Horny is bad.
I feel like
Definitely.
I need to take 50 showers.
Where is he?
That asshole wanted to get into the projector booth. He was talking about fixing things so the sun never comes up. God, it didn't seem that weird when he was saying it. It sounded really good at the time.
You weren't yourself. The projector booth. That sounds about right. I need to get in there.
I have the access code for the door. Here.
Thanks.
I'm just glad you showed up now. He said he'd be back after he'd arranged for some security.
You feel up to telling me what's going on here?
We have an art exhibition here, supposed to
I
open
can
tomorrow.
smell you. How dare no! Hey, giant enemy crab. No, HJ! Damn, what the flying fuck, HJ?
I know your wife.
You know Alice?
You know my wife? My wife?
Yeah, we have a film from her here. What the hell happened to you?
Getting back to Alice.
Oh, God, yeah, sorry. It's quite a coincidence that you're here. She made this.
She got a
short
flat
film.
ass, not gonna lie. I don't
shot
think
it
she would
years
get any
ago.
guys with that flat ass.
Part of the exhibition.
I'm in a film?
Yeah, it's like, I mean, it's just footage she shot of you at some point, but she turned it into this thing. It's almost like a memorial of sorts, because, you know, you're supposed to be dead, or something.
Uh-huh. How's Alice? Is she alright?
Wait, is that the first? Is that from the first game?
I
It sounds like a
guess,
fucking.
all things
It sounds.
considered.
It sounds like
You know
it's
her
from the
pretty
first
well.
game.
You're really Alan? I can't believe you're here. Nobody knows what happened to you. But there are people who say they've seen you.
That wasn't me. He just looks the same. Like, you know.
Yeah, but that guy's a lot more slimy. The thought of him makes me... I hate him, but there's something about him, this... God, he's so creepy. Anyway...
She's trying to fight the horny away, man. Feels bad.
I hope you can stop him.
Feels bad to her. She wanted to fight the horny away. Like, oh yes, he's bad, but he's so good, but he's also bad. But you know, I really like him, but no, he's bad. Look, he's bad, but he's good, but he also bad. He's also good. What else? Okay, where is fucking Scratch?
That's the security system? I guess it was too much to hope for an alarm and a
That's
fat
the opposite of what she said. She's bad. He's bad. You know? He's bad. He's creepy, but he's also bad. But he's also creepy. You know? But she's also horny. Because, you know. Motherfucker horny for whoever it is, anyways. Wait, what? Whoa, dude! Why am I I gonna get more health, by the way? Am I not gonna get any kind of health? At all? It's like this is like the only health I will get. That's one down. Like, there's only 3 bars of health and that's it. No. I mean, do you get more health upgrades? Like, are those the only 3 health I'm gonna get in the game? Oh. You just have 3? Jesus Christ. Can I put this right here? What is that? Is that a note? That's a note. We're gonna read a note.
2 years since I came.
We're just gonna read a note in
Being
here.
that long without Alice breaks my heart, and I know it broke hers. I know she thinks I'm dead. How could I blame her for that? It would be a crime to pretend that she owes me anything. She took all the stupid, self-indulgent bullshit I brought into her life and still stood by me. Still loved me. It's no betrayal. But I'm a better person now than I used to be. I want to be that person with her.
Okay. Thank you, Alan Wake, who really loves his wife. Dark Fountain, okay. Here, you take that. Yeah, this is wife good. Shit. Yo, what the fuck are you doing, you bitch? Alright. You die, you go away. Oh no! Alright, let's go in. Hello, knock knock. Enter access code.
The Champion of Light can feel the fragment of the signal in his pocket.
The Champion of Light?
Change what will be. It's incomplete, but it's all he has.
I like how they call it the Champion of Light. It was late at night. Summer was almost over. Okay. Can I move? I can't move. I can't run. There we go. Now I can run. Okay, hold on. It's late at night. Is it almost summer? There we go. Was this? The summer was almost over. Late at night. There we go. Champion of Light. When order Final Fantasy. Yes. How are you doing? Awesome. Hope you're doing well.
This isn't going right.
Oh shit! Hello!
You've been up to something, haven't you? Too bad it's not gonna do any good. I'm a better you than you ever will be, and I've got all the time in the world.
Dude, is this
Everything
live
you've got
action
going to
fucking
be mine.
Alan Wake?
Your life. Your wife!
Took my wife!
What are you gonna do about it? The sun's never coming up now. I can keep this up forever. Show yourself. Whatever you say, buddy.
Damn. What a live action. Yo, ass shot. Ass shot. Alan Wake has a nice ass.
The rush of darkness is unstoppable. Time itself twists and tears, sweeping the Champion of Light back with its dark currents.
Huh? Alan Thick. Yes, Alan Thick. Chivo, thank you for the rain. Much appreciated. Hope you are doing well. Hope your stream has been well. Hello. What the fuck? I'm here again. What the fuck? Hello. Wait. No. I'm back here again. What the fuck are you doing? Yeah, hope your stream went well. Hope you are doing well. My name is Juho Horus to the Raiders. I do a lot of horror games. I run a lot of horror games as well. And yeah. Today we are actually playing Alan Wake American Nightmare because, you know, it's an American, it's a nightmare. It's American, it's a nightmare.
Oh, not birds again.
What more can you say about this game?
What the hell?
What? Okay, I guess I could run away, I guess. I'm just gonna run. Hello. Dude, I just look how he runs. Like I can't, man. Look at that. Look at that shit. Yeah, I can actually replace this, you know. Yeah, let me just replace this real quick. There you go.
Emma? You here?
Hello.
Wow, it is you. I guess all of it really happened.
What the fuck?
Remember me?
Kind of. I felt weird all day, like I could almost remember a dream.
Stream
I
went
had,
wild
and
to
then
try
just
playing
before
this. Got
sunset,
bored
I
after a
remembered
few
the
minutes.
beach.
You try playing this
I'm
game?
going to have to go get those things again.
Not all of them. I
Interesting.
went out and got them. Well, most of them. I felt stupid at first, but then it was getting dark and those things started showing up, and one of them made off with the battery. It ran into the railroad tunnel. There was no way I was gonna follow him in there. Sorry.
It's good you didn't. You should be careful. I mean, really careful.
Yeah, I kinda remember something. Something bad happened to me, didn't it?
Forget it. It doesn't have to happen again, okay? Just do what I say.
Yeah, okay. God, this is too weird. Am I going crazy here? Just
Yes.
go get that battery.
Oh my god, it's the same shit all over again.
the
Holy
battery?
shit.
That'll save time.
Yeah, it's the same shit all over again, I swear. So you're only playing like the first 3 and that's about it? And then you just repeat the fucking process all over again, huh? This game's on Game Pass, so I thought I was playing as much. I didn't like as much of the original. Wait a minute.
Now Night Springs is
Cheap
in
tricks
Arizona,
by developers to make the
although
game
not for
longer.
long.
Probably. I don't
It's
know.
in Arizona because whatever the town that has become Night Springs is really called is located near one of the thin, worn places in the world where dreams and reality flow together and life is always a little strange. Perfect analogy for Night Springs. I can't return to the real world. I've tried, but I'm operating on dream logic, forcing the door open a crack so I can slip through. I can enter the strange little town of Night Springs. All I did was put it in Arizona for one night.
Okay. Okay, let's go get the battery. Wait. Are we going to this spooky fucking place now?
Well, this should be perfectly safe.
We are. What the flying fuck? I don't think so. I think Alan Wake, like the first Alan Wake, is on Game Pass as well. It should be. Holy shit, a spider.
Now I just need her to charge this up.
Hello. Hell spiders. It's very much in a different way, yeah. To be fair though, I didn't know anything about this game anyways until, like, you know, Sally was like, yo, you won't play it, please? And I was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, huh. Huh. Interesting. Can I pick up the flare at least? There we go. I got some machine gun ammo. Oh yeah. Ow! What is this thing? Another note.
I know that when I arrive, the clarity of vision I have now may disappear. I've made my plans. I prepared for this. But I know the transition from the dark place will be hard on me. And not just physically. It may affect my mind, my memory. These pages should help me remember and focus. That's worked for me before. Even if that fails, I think I will be able to trust my instincts. I'm navigating my own story. I'm hoping I'll know where to go and what to do, even if the details elude me.
Okay. What's in here, by the way? Look at all them spiders, bro. Hello.
Found the battery.
Okay, I'll charge it.
Her nipples are super fucking like
Here. Try not to
pointy.
get killed.
You know? Look at her nipples. That's so fucking pointy. Is there something on the top right there? Come on the nip. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm a respectable man. I don't do such.
I don't make friends easily. I know plenty of people, but I don't let most of them close. I've known Barry Wheeler ever since we were little boys. We had the time of our lives. I'd get us in trouble, and he'd talk us out of it. Things haven't changed that much now that we're grown-ups. He's the most loyal and dependable person I'd ever met, and all the things that count anyway. You could call him a weasel, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong.
Respectable men always come on the nip.
clown,
What? No.
And I would reluctantly agree.
Hey, RS-25.
But he has never let me down.
Okay. Twitter tells me that Blizzard uses bots to artificially increase the player base of Overwatch 2. It's... Uh-huh. I guess that would work. What the flying fuck is that, bro? What the fuck? Okay. Sure, I'm back here again. Maybe I'm supposed to use the flares then. Maybe I'm gonna use the flares. Good, I made it for the part. This part. What is this part? Look at them. Hello. Oi! 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 Ah! Ah! Get out! Get the fuck out! Yeah, that's right. That's right, bitches. Get out. See, that's right. I'm from the hood, man. I'm from the hood. Thank you for the follow, much appreciated. Oh wait, it's OP Pie. What the fuck? Hello. Konbanwa. What the fuck? Konbanwa, OP Pie son. Hope you're doing well. If you guys do not know who OP Pie is, I only heard of him in Dice's stuff. That's cool.
Well, here we
Wait.
go again. Better get ready to
The
run.
wheel. Oh wait. Okay. Wait, weren't you the one who ran fucking the ring or something like that? I know OP Pie probably ran the ring. Streamers and I hope you're doing well. Let me actually put this in. You run the ring, right? If I'm not mistaken. The first ring. Oh shit! Oh shit! It's like again. Fucking DMCA. Have you seen the Kyoani anime. No. Is it? I'm on 3 times of erectile dysfunction medication. What the fuck are you talking about? How are you doing, Artless? It's time to do this all over again. Look, it's DMCA music right now. What the fuck? What the fuck? Get out of the way, you dumbass. Where's the other one?
She'll be in trouble. Better hurry.
Again? Hello, my brother in Christ. Hello. The animated horror is giving birth in an anime. What the fuck? Do I really want to know about that? Do I really, God on God, want to know about that? Hold on. There. Take a flashbang. There we go. Die. What? How do you not die? Holy shit, bro. There you go. Sorry. Oh wait, these are the guys that actually. Oh god. Oh hello. You're not normal. There we go. Well, everyone's not normal in this fucking place.
It's okay. It's safe now.
Hey Rachel, how's scoring?
Bad feeling about all of this.
Can give birth to a horse. Scoring was good. You liked it?
Oh,
that's
hey,
good.
You don't have to do
That's good that someone actually does
motel
like the
master
game,
key.
though.
I work for the same company, you know. What's at the motel?
Well, there's a dead guy. He's got something I need to get into the Mount Redtooth Observatory.
God.
I didn't like the
awful.
gameplay overall. I like the graphics. I just didn't like the
you wanted
gameplay.
to
The
know
gameplay
about
of
the
it
guy
was
who
like
looked
kind of
like you,
shit.
didn't you?
The last time you said he had a party, but you didn't go.
The
No,
puzzling
that's
was
not true.
super fucking
I did
vague and
go.
hard.
It was
But
really great
at least I
at
could
first,
finish that
and-
game
and then
anyways.
I didn't see it myself, but I hear he took
Yeah, I
me
like the
nasty.
environment and the
He hurt a
atmosphere of
bunch
the game
guys
at least.
Pretty bad. And there was this girl. She died. But I didn't hear about that until afterwards. I thought that he was so charming.
And then he went to the diner.
That's right. I wasn't involved. I wasn't involved with that at all.
I played The
don't know
Witness.
what
I love The
happened.
Witness. One of my favorite games of all
I
time.
need to check out these motel rooms. In the meantime,
Do you not
stay
know? Wait,
here,
hold on.
okay? I'm serious. Keep the lights on and stay here.
Yeah, okay. You got it. I sure hope you're right about this.
Okay. Do you not know that my end screen or the transition screen, like, look at this. I'm not ending screen, by the way. Can you see the background of that? That is The Witness. I love The Witness, like, a lot. So, there's that. You know how much I love The Witness when you can see that shit. Yeah. I love The Witness. It's not Minecraft. No, I'm not ending. I'm probably gonna end in, like... Today's probably gonna be a short stream. Always ending. Yep, double edger. Today's gonna be probably a short stream because my internet is gonna go down in the midnights. And I don't have internet in the midnights later on, so that's kind of. Fuck. Are you kidding me?
Emma Sloan and fills her with dread. This time, she does as she's told.
It's not Minecraft.
It's not enough to save her.
I'm edging, yeah, I'm edging. I don't know about Braid though. I heard about Braid, but I've never played Braid before. Let me see about this real quick. Go to your observation key. Wait. So I can play this thing again? Are you serious? Interesting. What is this then? Wait, I can only go one door and that's it? Barbie? Oh no. You what? I played the Looker. Dude, I played the Looker. Wait, am I doing this all over again?
It's said that nobody knows what the future might bring, but for this man, it's no longer entirely true.
I played the Looker, man. I even speedrun the Looker.
Give up, but the champion of light is an expert on destiny.
Do you want me to speedrun the Looker?
Puppeteer can be one and the same.
I don't even know if I could. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. I don't even know if I remembered how to even speedrun the Looker, but it's like a fucking short ass game. I don't even know if it's still like it still like works or some shit. Here, the Looker. I literally played the Looker like a long time ago. And the speedrun of it is like fucking 3-4 minutes long. I actually wanted to play this game as... No, I actually submitted this game for like one of the marathons that I submitted. The Liquor. How you doing, Global Reset? I'll show you one like weird trick. I don't know if it's still in there, but if the trick is still in there, then that's cool. Oh yeah. Wait. Is it still in here? Hold on. Let me see if like this fucking thing is still in here. Wait. Oh, it is, yeah. So you literally just do this. You literally just do this. And then you skip like God knows how many fucking parts in the game. See? It's fucking short. It's a joke game, it's super short. This is the Looker, you dumb fuck. I'm already playing D Looker. And then at the end of the game it's just like this, hold on. It is the game, what are you talking about? This is the game. Hold on, this is like the... Hold on, how do you do this puzzle again? I don't remember how to even do this puzzle. Wait. No, it's this way. I think it's this way? I don't remember. Things like this. Something. I don't remember. But it's something like that. You know, whatever. This is the Looker. The real one. This is the Looker. Hold on. This is the Looker, see? Yeah, you draw a penis. You draw a penis in this game. Yeah, the speedrun of this game is like super fucking short. That's why I ran this game and then I was like, yeah, cool. I like it. Yeah, you actually draw a penis in this in the game.
Mount Redtooth. Its top littered with man-made eyes that stare into
It's Scorn? That's not Scorn. Scorn.
Tonight, the champion of light will depend on them to pick out a message.
Champion of light? Yo! Look at that map. That map looks like a fucking ball sack. Look, ball sack. We got one ball sack here. You got one ball sack here. That's a ball sack.
As history repeats itself, the man remembers the patterns. He knows that he needs the missing part for the telescope.
Can I go get the missing part first? Yeah, I can. Hey, Zezima. But yeah, if you want me to play the Witness, I played the Witness already, so I don't know if I would want to play it again. But the Witness is like one of my favorite games of all time. I really like the Witness. I really wish that they actually have these kind of like games again, you know? Like I want to have those kind of games where you have that open world puzzling, like the Talos Principle or the Turing Test. It looks super fucking good. I love them. One of my favorite games. Oh yo. I like how this guy missed. You missed as well, bitch. There you go. What are you throwing nades for? What the fuck are you doing? Turing test is poggers. I played the Turing test like a long time ago. I really do like it. The Last of Us DLC weekend for first time. That game is like, yeah, I still need to finish up Last of Us because I never finished The Last of Us. I think I only played like 30 minutes of The Last of Us and that's about it. So hopefully if you guys want me to play The Last of Us, voting's out there if I finish this game. Smile. There's also other games that I really want to play sooner or later. But hopefully like in the next few days I could actually play it. I also did sign up for this one thing. Play Braid. Wait, hold on. Abstract vocabulary of puzzles as you go along. Braid is gonna be something that I'm probably gonna consider. Maybe playing it by my own. Oh man, not enough manuscripts. Are you kidding me? Wait, is there a manuscript right here? Yeah, there is. Same devs too. I know it's like the same devs.
There are places where our world is worn thin, and another reality brushes against ours. One such site is Cauldron Lake near Bright Falls, Washington. But there are others. That other reality is dark, vast, and malleable, always in flux. In its depths dwell vast forces and alien energies. They're dangerous. But in one of these places, if you know how, you can channel the power of that place and use it to shape reality.
Interesting. Okay. Wait, hold on. I can't unlock this fucking box right now, or whatever it is. Hunting rifle to... Wait. Nah. I'm gonna keep the carbine. I'm still gonna keep the carbine. What is this again? This is a note.
The darkness rose.
Yo, the darkness!
Cauldron Lake.
That's the game. The darkness.
It needed words. It needed me to write its
But
way
yeah,
into our world. Leverage.
There's gonna be a lot more games that I'm gonna be playing sooner or later that I actually bought like a long time ago and I never played it. So hopefully I can actually finish them.
Shadowy enemies, but I faced the darkness. I fought it with light. I drove it back. I saved Alice, but it came with a cost. I was trapped in the dark place below Cauldron Lake.
But also, here's the thing. I also did sign up for this Twitch Singapore thing because, you know, somehow they wanted to showcase 15 streamers for HalloFest by either playing games or wearing fucking Halloween costumes or some shit like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna sign this up because I play fucking horror games every fucking time, right? If they don't fucking pick me, I'm gonna be pissed off because, you know, if they... Oh, hello! What the flying fuck? Wait, hold on. Yeah, that's right, bitch. I remember just getting bored of the darkness too. Interesting. If they don't pick me, I'm gonna be pissed because, you know, if they're gonna pick like other random normie streamer rather than a streamer who knows how to showcase its abilities with the speedruns and the horror games and stuff like that. Yeah, like, dude, legit fucking pissed. Oh god, hello. Wait. No! Oh! No! You fuck! Sorry. How do you find out about these signups? Actually, here's the thing. Do you want to know how I found out about these signups? Hold on. Look. If I were to go here, right? If I were to go here, do you stream horror games or plan to dress up for Halloween? Join us in HalloFest. Like, I was like, wait a minute. What the fuck? What the fuck is this? I literally was like, what the fuck is this? And I signed up, and then they had this whole thing right here. It's no longer accepting responses because it ended like last night. But the whole thing was that, if I need to find it right here. Hold on. I just said like I wish I could actually get in, but hopefully. Wait, let me see where was it. I actually did signed up for it. You never get anything like that? It was like that. I was like, huh. There. Because I'm too small. No. It was a Singapore thing. It was literally a Singapore thing. So it says like, it's time to get spooky with HalloFest 2022 as we celebrate all things Halloween. We would like you to be part of our celebration. If you have amazing costume, Halloween or stream horror games, fail in this form. We'll be featuring 15 streamers doing HalloFest taking part in. Yeah, so like this was like an all Singaporean thing. So like any kind of Singaporean streamers could get could sign up and get in, right? And I signed up and hopefully I'm gonna get in. If they don't get me in, or if I don't get in, right, I'm gonna get pissed because, you know, I'm like one of those Singaporean streamers who like, one, speedrun fucking horror games, two, actually play fucking horror games for full time. Smile. And right now I'm doing like fucking Spooktober anyways, so this is gonna be a good opportunity for me to actually fucking play horror games for a bunch of other people as well, you know. If not, they're gonna like suck ass, you know. Whoa, what a fucking dodge, dude. Oh god, hello.
Stories come naturally to us. We can't help it.
You're not even small.
There are
I
many
don't think
different
it's
worlds,
because
many
you're
competing
small.
realities
It's
within
more
our
or
heads,
less
fueled by books,
they just
television,
wanted
even barely
to do
remembered
it, and I was
childhood
like, yo,
tales.
I'm
There's
signing
an
up
endless
for
supply
sure.
of fictional concepts more familiar to us than anything or anyone real. We have a far greater connection to the fictional characters we know and love than the random people we pass on the street. Our destinies and inspirations are shaped by lies, myths, and fables.
Thank you, Alan Wake. And no thank you to the people who are around here right now, because I'm gonna be picking up another manuscript and reading
Will be
it.
the tool the darkness favors over any other. At some point, they used to be human, but whatever humanity they once had is long gone. Now they're just shells covered and filled by darkness. The taken Mr. throws at me are more grotesque and varied than the ones I first encountered in Bright Falls.
I like how they censor
But I know how
Scratch.
to deal with them. I'd be lying
What?
if I said they
What?
don't frighten me.
What?
I'd survive worse. I can't let them stop me.
What? You alright, Zezima? What? Whoa, dude! Guy literally jumped in front of me. What the flying fuck? Wait, was I running around in circles this whole time? Yeah, I was running around in circles this whole time! You fuck! Sorry. Oh my god, I had to go back here again. Really? Yeah, was I running around in circles this whole time? Hold on. Yeah, I could have gone here. What the flying fuck? Oh, that was stupid. Hold on. Oh, shit. Why would I kill them? Because they can't be killable, you know? Is this the same
I
thing?
know what you're thinking. Evil twin, supernatural powers. But most of the time, I just like to keep things basic. I want you to understand that.
It's gonna show his penis. Oh shit. That's a lot of weapons.
Like this. Need to get your hands dirty? No batteries, no moving parts, just physics. That's technology you can depend on. It's a classic. Speaking of classics,
Okay, I'm bored. Sorry, I'm just fucking bored. Mr. Scratch, I don't really care, but
You'll
like...
have to forgive me, but this feels very strange. It seems like this has all happened before.
I have the replacement part for your telescope, Doctor.
All right. Let's get it installed.
Am I gonna shut off fucking cooling systems again? Please don't tell me I had to fucking shut off cooling systems again. I swear to God, if I had to shut off cooling systems again.
I think we can give this a go, although I have this strange feeling that something will
Don't
go
start
wrong.
it up yet. There's a problem with the coolant system.
No! Fuck!
I remember.
Fuck!
If they're sabotaging it, they'll be at the primary coolant pipe outside. If you can secure
Hey
it,
Ugu, hey Nine Brad.
signal.
Isn't it New York, Florida? I don't know.
It is. I'll take care of it.
Let me out.
If you have the time, I'd appreciate if you came up here and explained a few things. All of this is very strange to me.
Okay. I've read this before. I don't want to read this again. I'm gonna go to the other fucking note and then read that one as well. Don't want to read it again. Jesus fucking Christ. This must be the newest Alan Wake game. This must be the sequel to the Alan Wake game, because this is not the newest one. The newest one is Alan Wake Remaster. Okay, secure the primary. The original was okay. I like the original. This one, however, just feels like it's gonna repeat itself again and again and again, and I don't know if I would like it or not. And if it's gonna be resetting again and again and again, or like repeating itself again and again and again because of the storyline being like that, I don't know. I don't know if I would like this. This is the latest one? I guess this is the latest one, but like, you know. Oh, hell yeah. Tali, I'm honest, okay? I'm honest.
You should be able to turn on the lights and secure the area that way.
Doctor, can you hear me? I think we're good.
Make sure. What the fuck is this?
I'll start looking for the signal. Please, head back.
What the fuck is that achievement? Holy shit. Speedrun's boring. You mean the original speedrun is boring? Interesting. Does the speedrun skip cutscenes? Yeah, this one skips cutscenes at least. From what I remember. Hello.
I guess they didn't like that.
Wait, what the fuck is that question mark at the back? I don't see that question mark. Where is the question mark? Oh, question mark, where are you? Oh no, the car's possessed. Yeah, the car's possessed, man.
The atmosphere in the projection booth at the drive-in was...
Yeah, skip this.
When Dr. Rachel
go.
Meadows got the call from Michael, telling her...
Rachel Meadows?
She didn't waste any
What is
time.
this, fucking Rambo Rachel
nice
Meadows?
She'd had a good time, but her social life would always play second fiddle to the mysteries of space. Michael never showed up, of course. He pulled over at the wrong rest stop. She never even thought about him at the time. The phenomenon in the sky above her was too fascinating.
Okay. Back. Where's this other one that I... Did I take the other one? I took the other one, right? I don't remember. Whatever. Fuck it. Vroom vroom! Where's the car? Game was half price site content, basically standalone DLC. Making people loop the same content was a choice. It was a choice. What the flying fuck? Wait, what? What's that? What the fuck is that? Fuck that shit, bro. Climb! Besides 2 skips. Interesting. Hey, yo, what the fuck? No. Whoa! What a shot, bro! I'm fucking. Ah! 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 Yeah, that's right, bitch. That's right. Oh yeah, you rammer. There you go. I'm a gamer, dude. I'm fucking gamer right now. I'm legitimately like the best gamer out there. Smile. Give me that shit. Yeah, that's right, bitch. Alright, hot British lady, I have your shit right now. Turn it on.
It's working. Please, come up here.
Hell yeah! We're gonna have some scientific pussy sex. With a British hot lady. Like, legit, she's fucking hot. Please. Lady, please, I want to get in. I want to get in with you, that action. Hell yeah!
I don't think it's quite the same thing we had the last time. Still, we're definitely picking it up.
Are we getting the complete signal now?
I'm afraid not. Take a look at it yourself. I'm printing out a hard copy now. I'd like to ask you a question or two before that, though, if you don't mind.
Okay.
What's on your mind, Doctor?
Most people would find these events extremely disturbing, provided that they survive these creatures, that is. You seem to be quite adept at dealing with the situation. Why is that?
Yes, I was involved in... It's a complex story. I was in this small town, and a horrible thing from another dimension kidnapped my wife.
Hey yo, it's the first story, man. The first game.
I learned to fight it with light, and I managed to contain it and free my wife. But I was trapped in its world.
Are you serious?
Absolutely. So, I'm used to reality working in strange or even impossible ways. And I fought these things, not exactly like this, but close enough for a good while now. Of course, I have certain advantages. Was there anything else?
What did you mean when you said you have advantages?
At the risk of sounding like a lunatic, reality is much more fluid than people think. It can be influenced.
I didn't take you for a mystic.
I'm not. I'm a writer. And under certain conditions, I can, for lack of a better word, rewrite reality. Change things.
That's absurd.
But it works.
Assuming I believe this, why don't you simply, I don't know, write yourself some superpowers?
It's not quite that simple. You need to follow certain laws of drama, I suppose. You need to think about consistency and symbolism. Often what you write isn't anywhere near as important as what you imply. There are things out there that will take advantage of your mistakes.
You really believe in this?
Don't look at me like that. You've experienced some of this yourself.
I will gladly admit that something exceedingly strange is going on. But this idea that you're somehow altering reality with your writing is ridiculous. You're essentially saying you're controlling my actions. Leaving aside the rational arguments against this, what gives you the right?
Well, it's more like having a destiny. A path you're on. You're not aware of it, but there it is. If somebody changes it, what difference does it make? It's what every writer does.
I don't know, I just want to see titties.
If you write something that
like, I
affects one of
honestly
the
just want to see
characters, they don't really
titties.
know about that.
I'm not a character. Are you saying that it's all right to take advantage of someone if they aren't aware of it?
Look, all I meant was that if you're genuinely making all your own decisions, and those decisions lead to whatever destiny you have, what practical difference does it make?
Wake me up inside.
I suppose
Save
that
me.
depends on
Call
whether
my
our
name and save
destinies
me
are
from the
determined
dark.
by things
Wake
like
me
physics
up.
and
Bid my blood
probabilities
to
or
run.
natural
I
reality,
can't wake up
which is
before I come
presumably neutral
undone.
and
Save
impartial,
me. Save
or by
me
some
from the
kind of
nothing
an
I've become.
intelligence. If it's the latter,
Wake
that
me
intelligence
up,
makes
wake me
choices
up
based on some
inside.
criteria. If we
Mine, thank you
suffer
for the
as a
100 bits,
result
much
of those
appreciated. Hope you're
choices,
doing well. No
there's a moral
titties,
and
but
ethical element
titties.
involved, regardless of whether we're aware of its manipulations. Wouldn't you agree?
You're taking this very well. I thought you'd be hangry.
I suppose I would be if I thought you could actually do this.
Boring. She has that scientific knowledge, but I want to bang that pussy. Not gonna lie. Like, yeah, blah blah blah, but like, I just want to bang, bro.
His adversary. Mere words on a piece of paper, but in the right hands, they will hold back the darkness.
How many times do you actually do this, like, one part of the fucking story? Do you have to do it like twice or 3 times or whatever it is? The first thing I come hearing is Bang Bros. Yeah,
The
Bang Bros.
last time the man came to the drive-in, it did
You
not
do it
end
3
well.
times?
He hopes
So-
to
so-
avoid that fate this time.
So wait.
He hopes. that
Wait.
he will be brought with
So
him to this place.
wait. So that means each motel room I have to do 3 times. This is the second time that I'm here. Oh, okay. So okay. Wait. So it's like 3 times 2 is 6. Cause I in one motel room I do in one motel room I do 2 of the scenarios, but you have to do it 3 times, so 6. So I had to do the fucking game like 18 times? Play this game 18 times. Interesting.
Ugh. Serena's probably out of her mind again. But I'm gonna need that key so I can get the power. To change the world, you must craft a blueprint.
Is he holding the
for
gun
new
like that? I don't
reality.
know.
Any work of art will do, as long as it's a genuine act of creation. That's what the energies of the dark place respond to. The results may be subtle and perplexing, or far-ranging and momentous. My area of expertise, the written word, gives much more precise results than music or interpretive dance would, for instance. But words can be extremely dangerous. What you define may become reality, but so can that which you imply.
Never
even if
heard
you
this
don't
game. This
realize
game
you're
is
doing so.
a sequel to the first Alan Wake game. I like the first Alan Wake game actually. This one, however, I don't know how to feel. Is she gonna be fucking horny again? Yo!
I'm really just here to get the keys so I can get the power back on.
You want to hold me down? It's okay. I know you like that.
Yeah, I'll just grab the keys.
I could be like your wife.
No! You're horny. You're horny in the darkness. No. She's horny in the darkness. Nope. I am not. I am interrupting over the horniness in the darkness. No. Motherfucker horny. I ain't in horny. No. Oh shit, the note's all the way on the other side. Okay, hold on. She was like, yo, I'm in the darkness. I'm horny again. Like, no. Alright, no.
It's been 2 years
shit,
since I came here.
no, wrong one.
Being that
Wrong one.
my
That's wrong.
writer's block got worse. I didn't sleep much anymore. My life with Alice seemed like a constant fight. I was a wreck. Alice took steps. She booked a vacation in Bright Falls, a small town in Washington. It was supposed to be a chance to break out of the cycle I was in. She didn't know about the darkness in Cauldron Lake.
Okay, restore the power. We are gonna restore the power once again. I hope she ain't gonna be horny after this. Be right back. Alright, have a good be right back. Oh fuck! Is it this thing again? It's this thing again. Are you kidding me? But Mr. Scratch ain't there. What? Where's Mr. Scratch? My dick. Bro. What happened to Mr. Scratch My Dick? Cars did the wave. Can I even shoot them down? Like legit. Like, gotta be honest right here. Can I shoot them down? Oh. Could have fucking flare right here again. Yeah, I definitely can shoot them down, but like, no. It just feels fucking weird. What?
Like a little hamster in a wheel. Go ahead and keep running for all the good it'll do you.
Okay. What the fuck, bro? Stop. Okay, hold on. Whoa, 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 there's a lot of them. That's a lot of them. Oh, shit. That's a lot of them. Yeah, I'm just gonna run. You know, all these shits. I have a flare gun. I haven't even used the flare gun yet. Hello. Look at all them dusty shit, you know? It's dusty. Is this the same shit again? Oh, hello. Stop, you fucking idiot! Bro! Oh shit, it's only this one. There we go. Kablamo, kabloomoo. That's what it is. Kablamo, kabloomoo. Oh no, spiders! What the flying fuck? Okay. Those spiders. Wow. Ah! Electricity. Ay! 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 Clap.
Serena Valdivia. Burning the midnight oil is more of an exception than a rule.
This is the Mexican chick that wanted to fuck us
when she wouldn't be disturbed. Tonight was especially
important.
Fuck
Alan Wake, I guess.
The film festival would open tomorrow, and there was still so much to sort out. It wasn't that the work hadn't been done. She just didn't feel like she had completely mastered everything yet.
Okay. Thank you. Fuck, no, stop. Spider, please die. Thank you. This other spider. There we go. Let's go into the light that I can heal. What the fuck was that? It's you. What? What? Let's go this way. Oh fuck. There we go. Cool. I got the pattern. I got the pattern right. Oh wait, no. I'm supposed to go this way. Fuck, Alan! Stop! Running into poles. That's what it is. Okay, hold on. Are you fucking...
You die, you lose. If you quit, you lose. If you make it to the end of the loop, you still lose. Sucker.
Okay. If I die, I lose. If I lose, I lose. Just don't lose for it. That's what they always tell you. Like at any kind of gamer, they'll just tell you, just don't lose for it. Look at him. Motherfucker handsome as fuck. Just get good for it. Ow, Jesus Christ, bro. Holy shit, that's a lot of them. Fuck me. flying fuck. Okay. I'll do the fucking pipe shit again. Just don't hit forehead. Yes. Don't get hit. True. Oh, hello! Big guy right there. Dude, what a rammer. Wait, is there a guy right behind me? No, that was fucking cactus. Cactus right behind me. I was like, what the fuck? Jesus Christ. Okay, hold on. Ree! The guy was like, Ree! Trying to chase me down. He's bad. This game is mad boring. I'm shooting. Man, there's a lot of fucking people right here. What the flying Oi! Okay, hold on. Maybe it's just me. Probably like the first game. Oi! No! There we go. Fuck off. Okay. Let's run. Run towards whatever it is. This isn't as shiny as Godfall. What the fuck is Godfall? I know God Hands. No, God Hand. Evil! Evil! It's like Destiny but melee.
The Champion of Light knows that the time itself is
The
about to end.
Champion of Light!
At least for him. He can feel the dead end rushing towards him. But there is time to act. Incomplete or not, he has the weapon.
I don't have the whole thing, but maybe it's enough.
What? Okay, there was this film noir poster visible. A spotlight illuminated the okay, spotlight. So this one illuminated this one. Cool. No, I'm getting sucked by the darkness again. Oh no, the darkness will suck me. Get the blowjob from the suckness.
What are you up to? It's a waste of time, buddy. You should just lie down and die. Let me take over. This is the only thing you've got coming to you. From here to eternity. No matter how many times you come back.
Oh shit, more of Alan Wake.
Time folds back on itself. Again, his senses scream as the very impossibility of what is happening assaults them. But the Champion of Light endures.
The Champion of Light! The sun!
Each time,
I am the Champion of Light!
Each time, another detail falls into place. Now, the trap works against the Herald of Darkness.
It's Morbin time. Yeah, the champion of light meets the Morbius. Oh my god, chainsaw guy.
Holy shit! What are you, the King Hillbilly?
King Hillbilly. What is this guy doing? What the flying fuck? Hello? Wait, what if I use this gun then? Oh shit, he dies. Oh, too bad to him. Wait, he has a note? Oh, that's a note.
Tor and Odin Anderson.
Morbius is on
gods of
Netflix.
Asgard.
Have
Sometimes
sex!
quite
Have
know what to
sex!
make of them.
Poop my pants again.
I know they used to be rock stars who modeled their stage personas after Norse gods. I know they're old. I know that in their day they fought the darkness as I do. I know they're demented and insane, ravaged by age and self-abuse.
Dude, have sex! Have sex! Poop my
Powerful
pants
that
again.
took hold when they were touched by the powers beyond. A thing that goes far beyond just stage
That's
names.
all you need to know about
Something
Morbius.
godlike.
It's just have sex and that's about it. Okay. I need a lot of these fucking ammo stuff.
Right on cue, bubbling to the surface from untold depths, the horrors come. The emerging monsters do not expect the warm reception that has already been prepared for them.
Are you kidding me again? Okay. Can I run? Hello? I'm like waiting for myself to run. Like what the flying fuck? Okay. Start it! Give me that. Wait, do I have ammo? I don't have ammo. What are you talking about, bro? Give me the ammo. Thank you. Again? We're watching this shit again? Bro! No! Red Rocket. Oh fuck, hello. Okay. No, go down. What the fuck? Okay, I died immediately because I'm fucking stupid. There you go. This way. Wait, the big guys. Holy shit. That's super fucking hot and big. What the fuck? Hello?
Next stop, saving Emma.
Oh shit, I'm using the wrong oh my. Okay, whatever. I used the wrong gun. It worked out anyways. I just used the wrong gun. Hello, big boy. Wait, hold on. Before I get to you. You get this thing. There we go. Shot to the heart and you're too late. Wait, hold on. What the fuck? Wait, what? Why are you not dead? Hello? Okay, now he's dead. Wait, menu script? Oh. What is this menu
Getting
script?
the Andersons into the recording studio was a struggle and a half. But once they actually picked up the instruments, something happened. They were two old men, and they weren't. They were doddering bags of bone, and they were barely contained power. And there was music. Barry rubbed his hands together. He knew how to pick a winner. Now all they needed was some direction on how to make things a little more modern. Barry had never produced a thing in his life, but he knew what he liked. He knew Balance Slays the Demon was going to be a hit.
Okay. Balance Slays my dick hole was gonna be a hit as well.
Is it bad that this time I just went, oh, he's gonna be right along to save my ass?
Yes, sir. Oh man,
Not as long as I show up, I guess.
Are you fucking serious? Hold on. I wanna know these like question marks real quick. There's one here.
Night Springs doesn't exist. It's a fictional town from the TV show I used to work on.
What?
It was
not the
any
birds
place
again. Not the
USA,
birds again.
a place
Dude,
we
Night
used
Springs
as a
didn't
backdrop
exist.
to whatever strange story we had.
That's the
that
Breaking
week.
Bad RV. Yo,
One of the stories I wrote for the show
don
involved a man,
don
the champion of
don.
light, fighting his evil double, the Herald of Darkness. It was something I'd written back in the real world, something I had a link to, a framework I could build on. I had adapted.
No, I'm gonna open up an OnlyFans account. What are you talking about? Ah! Sorry. Oh fuck. Did you not know if like? Do you not know if like, if Silent Hill is gonna get a remake or like an actual remake or an actual new game, right? A remake would be alright. Like a remaster, no. No, I don't want to see a remaster. If it's a remake, right? And an actual new game, I'll open up an OnlyFans. I'll put content on. Smile. I actually put content. Copium. Dude, if they do a remaster, it's gonna be fucking copium. It seems like fucking. It seems like Konami doesn't care a lot at all. Smile.
Emma wasn't sure exactly when the man arrived at the motel.
It's gonna be a
But
fucking
from what she
like
could tell,
mobile game
The party
anyways.
started almost immediately. It was infectious, spreading from one room to another. He was mercurial, almost as if he
Bundle
was
3 games
flickering through
together.
the scene, telling a
Own
joke here,
yes.
throwing an insult there.
What if we make our own
oozing
Silent
sex
Hill?
and
I don't
violence and
know.
excitement. She had never seen someone like this before. He looked at her and smiled, and she felt her heart flutter a little. She knew he was the kind of man mothers warn their daughters about, but she told herself it didn't matter.
Silent Hill Gacha waifu, yes, Quiet Mountain. We're gonna name it Quiet Mountain now.
I have seen the darkness twist flesh into new shapes before, but encountering these giants is an extremely disturbing experience. It's as if the genre has been switched on me. There's something out of Pulp Fiction. Twice as tall as normal men and stronger than forklifts. They're lumbering.
I'm gonna say like the fucking storyline right now is just sorry. A bit boring, but sure. It is what it is. Dude, bird people are just fucking me up right now. Hold on.
Clear now.
Do I really just have to kill them? All right, okay. Hold on. There's a question mark right here. I just don't know what the question. Oh, is it in this building? Oh, it's in this fucked up looking building. No wonder I can't go in. Okay. I'll go in later.
Yeah, thanks for saving me again. I'd hate to die before I'm scheduled to be murdered.
I guess I have you to thank for setting everything up at the oil derrick.
Yeah, well, I figured that if we were going to go over this again, we might as well try to be smart about it, huh?
I appreciate it.
Yes.
You took a big chance doing that.
Yes, ma'am.
You okay?
What do you think? I've died twice. I remember everything pretty clearly now. You said I was gonna be okay.
I don't know what happened.
It's not your fault. I think one of those, what did you call them? The takers? I think they did something to the power and they got me that way.
I'm sorry.
But I got the keys from the dead guy in that room. And I'm not handing them over until you do something about this. I'm sick of getting killed.
Fair enough.
Okay. I'm gonna head to the bathroom when as you guys hear this fucking conversation, because I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. There.
You seem calmer now.
I tried freaking out. It didn't do much good for me. I guess you get used to the craziest stuff.
Good for you.
Plus, I figured I'd take the edge off, you know?
Mm-hmm. Those herbal supplements are pretty good, huh?
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to try to explain things to you now since
Work
you're
on
calm,
what?
but
No,
maybe
there's
this
no,
isn't the best
no,
time
no
after all.
Go mechanics.
Oh, shit,
Go
yeah.
mechanics, dude.
Better not get all metaphysical on me now.
This girl is hot
Seriously,
because she knows how to
I'm
work
like
on
2
cars and also
sentences away
booba.
from
Dude,
thinking how we could
do you
all
not
be
see her
like
booba yet?
atoms
Look
on
at her
God's
booba. Hold
skin
on.
or something.
Figments of somebody's
Look,
imagination.
those nipples could
Wow.
cut diamonds, I guess.
I'm just gonna try to
Like, it's
chill out,
fucking-
and not think about
look
that
at
or
that.
getting murdered or anything. If you're
Super
cool with
fucking pointy and sharp. No, bro. Save ammo by securing the fuse. Wait, what fuse? Huh? Wait, what fuse is there? In here? The fuse. This fuse. Oh, okay. Sure. Fuse box, not just a fuse. Oh shit. Oh shit! I guess I realized that because I just went into that. I was like, yep, that's a fuse box. Look at all of that. Emma, I found your fuse box, yes. She's wearing a bra though, the death sun and just making look at all the lights lighting up now. Hell yeah.
Okay. I really don't think they can get to the power now.
Thank you. That's a relief. Here's the keys that you needed.
Thank you.
Hey, I have to tell you, at the diner, I went there with him. The guy who looks like you, okay? I know I said that I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured.
I'll tell you what happened at the diner. No, don't want to talk to you. I'm bored. I'm bored talking to you. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna finish this one first and then, you know, go to the other two. Because I have to. Here we go. I'm gonna do this the last time. I hope it's the last time, and then I can go to the other two.
The fate of countless individuals hangs in the balance, threatened by the machinations of the Herald of Darkness. And yet, for a moment, the Champion of Light breathes a little.
I thought you were going for
easier.
pages.
He has saved one
No.
life. For this moment, it is enough. And soon, perhaps, he can put an end to this.
I don't know if I want to go for pages. If I see a page, I just take a page. If I don't see a page, I don't see a page. But also at the same time, you can go for it later, right? Like, honestly, like, once I'm done with this fucking, like...
Returning
Whoa! I thought I was floating up.
Is the final time.
I was about to say, like, if I finish this part, like,
in equal measure,
for the last time, then yeah, I can go to the other parts, right? Yeah.
He will have what he needs.
Yeah. Whatever it is. Elliot Page. Ellen Page. Elliot Page. How you doing, Guns? Hope you're doing well. Alan Sleep. Wake me up inside. You just said earlier you were gonna come back for it.
I was expecting you.
Yeah, like later on, I guess.
But you should still look into securing the primary coolant flow. With some luck, you may be able to light the area before these things show up.
What was that? Wait, secure the primary. Oh. Okay. Hello, Go Chat. Hope you're doing well. Wait, how do I get in here? Okay. Wait. Oh, what's up, dude? Aye. Yeah, shortcuts now. Yeah. That's right, bitches. Okay. Use.
Very good. I believe we're ready to look into the sky.
Already? What the flying fuck? Oh, car again. I remember that car. Fuck that car. Hey, get the fuck out of here, man. Yeah, let's get the fuck out of here. For any kind of cars, fuck me up again. Lisa, whoa! Lisa, these dumb fucks learn how to fix stuff ahead of time. Yep, smile. Got heal in the light. Excuse me. Fuck! What are you doing? Whoa. Ugh. There we go. Fuck you guys, honestly. Okay. $40 manuscripts. I don't even have enough manuscripts. Oi! That car almost hit me. Wait! No! What are you doing? Whoa, dude! Oh! Woo! What a swing! What a swing, bitch! What a swing! You missed me. Oh shit! 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 Okay, never mind. The second time was no, I'm back here. Shit! I was about to say the second time. They didn't miss. Why all these manuscripts? What women manuscripts? I don't know. Talk shit, get hit. Damn. That's how I look like right now. Oh shit! Hello. Smack him again? No! No smacking. One more? No. Get me in! Get me in! Twist his dick. Hey, Daddy of the Corn. Are you fucking serious right now? What the f- Oi! Oi! What is this? Whoa! What the flying fuck is happening? Who's playing the music? I don't know. People playing music. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Look out! You need to protect the telescope or we can't complete the signal.
The gangbang, the gangbang. Wow! What's happening? The DMCA is coming!
There, I have it. But I wish these things
All right.
were blatantly violating the laws of
Nice.
my observatory. That's just rude. Are you all
It's a good guess now. Alright, have a good one, Edelcat.
I'll send the list down to you. I remember our previous encounters very clearly now. But technically, if this really is a loop in time, we've never met before. I don't know why our awareness persists, but it's bloody fascinating.
This is rude. What do you mean?
Doctor?
Hello.
No, I know physicists who would give 15 years of their lives for a chance to experience something like this.
I'd imagine that being stalked by horrible axe murderers would curb their enthusiasm a little.
Really,
Yes.
you've never met hardcore physicists.
What?
I'm glad you're in such good spirits,
The
but
signal. Yes, it's completed.
finally.
Oh. I'm
In
printing
a
it.
strange way, he feels at ease. He is armed with his own words, and when the time comes, they will be enough or they will not. For now, he's content to let the currents take him toward the final confrontation.
Alright, let's confront the horny woman again. And then we're gonna be like, no horny. There you go. No horny in this town. No horny ever.
Once more, we return to the drive-in. If he's aware of the absurdity of
Full
arming
horny?
himself
What the
with a few
fuck is that
sentences
emote?
standing against a power that can pierce time itself.
Wait,
he
I'm
doesn't
here?
The man has his share of weaknesses, perhaps more, but cowardice is not among them.
Oh, hello.
Oh, you got yourself a little plan, do you?
Oi! Wow. Okay. Hold on. I need to go this way. Full horny? What if... What? No! What the fuck? No! No horny. MILF. MILF milks. I would like some MILF milk, please. Hello. What? Wait. Huh? Wait, what? There we go. Okay. What is this? This one. Yo, this guy has a shank! He's shanking! What a fucking hitbox miss! Idiot! Yo, what a fucking hitbox miss! Oh shit! Ooh, what a shot! What a shot right there! Oh. There we go. Give me that light. There we go. All right, towards my left. Oh no, the evil is back. Day one for me. Wait, is that this way? Is it this way? Hold on. Wait, where am I going? Oh, I'm getting out of here. That's right. Where's out? Where is out? Hold on. There we go. I was like confused.
Never getting out of this wake, never. Don't worry.
No, I was confused. I thought it was another way.
And your life.
Damn, he's gonna take my wife, dude. Oh man, that sucks. Wait, again? Music again? Hey Thomas. Hey queer fella. I told you I'm a psycho. Which we say every time this we want to see how new go fast. Well, I finished it. Oh shit. Whoa, it's a car!
I don't know what you think you're doing, but I'll send you right back to the beginning.
The beginning? Yo, dude, what's up? Let me pick up this note real quick! Ow, ow. Wait, that done? Okay.
When the dark man's eyes suddenly locked into Serena's, she flushed hot. They ignited a black fire in her. He was talking. He wanted the power turned off. He said something about the projector booth.
I think so, Thomas. I think so.
He grabbed a hold of her throat and twisted until it hurt. Somewhere deep inside, a part of her screamed in paralyzed horror. But the moan that escaped from her throat had no panic in it.
Huh?
Pay attention, he said. Business first. His eyes glittered shamelessly. Hers did too.
Sex. I knew it. It was sex all along. They did the downright dirty.
You think
Have sex, have
make
sex.
a difference? This'll end up just like before.
All right. Give me that sheet. Another manuscript. Dang, what the fuck? This music bussin'. This music actually bussin'. Oi, oi. I touch the fire and it freezes me. What the fuck? Hey, Cabot. Oh shit. Oi! Oi, 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 oi. Wait, 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 wait. Okay. I need this shit to go away first. What? There we go. Oh! For real, buzzing on God? Yeah, man. What the flying fuck? What's happening? There's a lot of them. What the flying fuck? Holy shit. The flying fuck is happening? Hold on. Okay, that shit's done. You're done. You're done for. Hold on, I need to bring this out then. Okay, cool. Wait, 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 there's another one? How is there another one? Ow. Ow! Jesus Christ. Wait, hold on. There we go. I'm playing the Witness right now. The Witness is good. Witness is super good. I like the Witness. The puzzling is quite difficult, but yeah, it is what it is. The titness. Wait, why can't I feel my skin crack and peel? I want the fire. What?
Light enters the final trap. The new reality is almost here. All he needs to do is change the details of the scene, push it past the breaking point, and the rest will snap into place.
Yeah, that's me at the moment. Which one is it? Is it this one? Wait, what? Huh? Oh, there we go. Cool. One thing I don't compare to the break 3D environment is the puzzle. Yeah, it is what it is, but it's super good. Okay. I did it.
Oh, come on, buddy. Why don't you... What? What is this?
Why are you on a school bus?
You can't do this! All I did was take the things you always wanted and never had the balls to go for. It's my turn now. It's my life. It's my
Man, why did he sing the Bon Jovi song, man? It's my life, it's now or never.
Alan?
Hello?
Is it really you?
It's really me.
I love you.
A woman, a man, two lovers, held apart for far too long, enveloped in the light of a glorious dawn. They both feel it. He's home at last.
Is that a
Are
butt?
these actual events?
What?
Or merely a dream? A memory? Or a glimpse of what is to come? One thing is certain. This
Huh?
scene takes place in another time and another place.
What?
Far, far away from Night Springs.
Hey, Seffi. Huh? Oh. Hey, yo, I PR and marketed this game. Smile. See, you came. How dare you, Seffi? You came in the last part of the game. What are you doing?
Watching the sun come up, and I've realized I can never return.
So you're telling me there's other storylines as well, right? You're telling me there's other storylines as well, right? That's not the only one. You only came here to rush the credits? Yeah. So you're telling me that's it? Wait. That's it. That's actually it. That's 3 hours of actual what? Then what's the others? What are the others then? Like if I were to go to the other like doors, right? If I were to go to the other like if I were to go to the other like motel doors, would there be other scenes or is just that's the only one? So you're telling me there's nothing on the other motel doors other than that Well, okay. I'm off my meds, that's why I'm eating them right now. Okay. Short game, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this game. This game is way too short, I guess. Vague ending since it's essentially playing an episode of Twilight Zone? I guess so.